like start playing around some of his strengths that he has access to, some of his like pretty solid strike throw game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do have to work a little bit harder than maybe some other characters, like the one sitting across the board, that Kain coming in from Phanpy right here, looking to control the neutral very early on. And you can already just see the patience of both players, like waiting to see who wants to bite, who wants to take the aggression. And Phanpy already doing a really good job with some of these early, like just defends, but a big wild punish from Arbiter.
Yeah, one thing we're going to see here, too, is Arbiter, obviously, Dong has that air stall, very similar to another strong character, but Phanpy, with that Kain, the flash kick hits so far upwards. Is going to whiff this time, actually.
Yeah, you're going to see when they go for the flash kick break, it doesn't fully connect up at the top of the screen right there for where Dong wants to be coming in. So Arbiter already able to find the first big hit and able to find another big punish on that DP as he saw Phanpy trying to just take that raw anti-air this time. And Arbiter cashing out with the super.
Yeah, this character does a ton of damage as well. Look at that, picking up off the super, just an EXDP, and that's enough to close out the first round.
Yeah, and that's a really big thing. You see Arbiter getting a lot of good reads on Phanpy, like, okay, I know how you want to be trying to anti-air me, so I'm going to try to make more use of this air stall. And then also now gimmicking a lot more with those air options as well to catch him out. Another good punish coming in through, but this time, Phanpy tries to go for the air-to-airs.
Oh, and the red flow in the air, not going to hit the mark here. You can see Phanpy is trying to slow things down. Another wild punish. Arbiter unable to actually pick up on it this time.
Yeah, the spacings have been a little far out, so, you know, Dong not having the ability to convert super, super far away, but we are catching these lows, catching these overheads a little bit more. Phanpy, though, finally able to get their own party started.
Phanpy has to be careful, though, sitting at 84% on the rev gauge. Any kind of strong offense is going to get them overheated, so you see trying to go for the throw, but there's the wake-up DP.
Yeah, now DP's once again trying to catch Arbiter out of the skies, but they stay on the ground and bait that DP out once more, giving them enough to close this out and take game number one.
A pretty dominating game number one there. Phanpy did get a little bit of offense towards the end of game one, but unfortunately, again, nearly overheated, so wasn't really able to go for any EX pressure, which really gives you the plus frames in this game.
Yeah, like, you would have had to see those, like, the super, super tight, like, one-button super confirms that you tend to see from some kind of players, but it's a hard thing to execute. It's a hard thing to notice in the heat of the moment, and especially being like, okay, where are the resources? How do I try to stay alive? And Arbiter just had that right read right at the very end to be able to secure that last round. So we'll see if they can keep that momentum that's going in forward, or if Phanpy can make those adaptations and maybe take some rounds.
Yeah, I would have liked to also see with all the meter. Oh my god, the rev blow right back. But with all that meter that Phanpy had, maybe just going for the orb super on pressure. You see a lot of Kains do that. It's an incredibly effective tool. But right now just needs to escape from the corner, and escape Phanpy does.
Yeah, and they want to just be able to guarantee that themselves are going to Orb Oki, try to make something big happen here, and a big DP break on that counter hit right there is what Phanpy needs to even it up, but Arbiter not letting that pressure go away.
Oh yeah, but recognizing that it also wasn't a safe jump right back, so letting the heavy break rip. Does miss the fireball. Wow, utilizing the shift in the air, the momentum shift to get over the fireball and get a dive kick punish.
Yeah, just grazed right outside of that hitbox right there. Oh, and nice reset right there, thinking that they were going to go for the combo extension, but just open up with the throw. Good jab right there on that air stall.
Oh, speaking of stalling, just a little bit of stall to catch Arbiter trying to press, and Phanpy now on the verge of taking the round, and there it is off the light confirm.
Yeah, unfortunately missed the tackle extension right at the very end, but still able to find the quick little jabs. Phanpy really, I think, just needed that round to get a warm-up. Be like, okay, how do you want to play? How do I need to deal with you? Fine, I understand it now.
Yeah, Kain, while Kain has incredible pressure, is also so good at playing control, especially against opponents who don't have fireballs, who can't challenge his fireballs, which is what you got to do in this matchup. Control it with the fireball game, and then get those punishes just like that. But drops it, Tabby.
But it's fine. We had a wild punish afterwards, so we even got a little bit more damage going through cross-ups, though, coming out for Arbiter, though, and quickly evening up these life totals.
Yeah, not only that, taking the lead. There's the overhead, but peppering in that universal overhead just to keep Phanpy guessing.
One of those things that's been working out really well for them, to just add a little bit of chip damage here or there, trying to go for these far B trades, but ends up going into Arbiter's favor, now putting themselves one round away from taking it.
Touching toes like that is crazy. Game number 2 here.
Look, that's the read. That's these players understand how they want to be fighting against each other. Another good DP break, but unfortunately, Phanpy not able to get these big conversions that they're really wanting for off those anti-airs, but we will find that red blow, knock him down to the corner, get hit into the orb as well.
Yeah, didn't quite get the extension off of it. Unfortunately, too far away to actually hit the orb, but trying to consistently go for these anti-airs just constantly whiffs, and these big jump-ins from Arbiter are doing so much damage.
Yeah, Arbiter's doing such a great job right now of constantly mixing up air stall versus going for a cross-up and really forcing forcing Faulty to be on their toes to deal with a lot of these situations. We will get the super extension right here with the EXDP Ender.
Yeah, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, it is! I forget how much damage this character does, but with that too, oh, Arbiter is going to be able to take the first match here on TNS.
You have to be worried about, and you have to be ready to deal with it. And he's a character that's been on my radar for a while. I was very excited for him to come out, and we're going to see that brotherly matchup come up here. We got Terry versus Andy coming through.
But what is this mint orange color scheme?
It kind of goes crazy. It's the it's like a rainbow sherbet Andy Bogard right
It is rainbow sherbet. It looks good. But here up against his brother Terry on the Luigix. Yeah, there's that close D. Andy also does a lot of damage. He's able to spend a lot of rev gauge too, like a lot of EX rev cancels without building up a ton of that rev gauge.
And he has a lot of different ways to change the routes dependent on what he needs to get out of that situation, whether it be damage or corner extension. So like the whole world is his oyster. Having those new tools like Air Fireball and Demon Flip as well make his pressure very, very scary right here. And you're already seeing that come out from Phanpy, revving up the damage in this corner.
Yep, and going for the meaty, there it is. Yep, going for meaty Demon Flip is going to be a really scary tool, right? Whether it's the overhead low, the cross-up, or that command grab. And the command grab itself is so good, like you saw there for closing out round.
Yeah, and that air, the going for the low right there, meaty is generally the safest option that you can see. You can generally make it pretty safe, as well as it's like +5 or +6 or something on meaty in that situation, so it gives you a lot of tools to continue your pressure, but Luigi not wanting to have it just yet. Phanpy, though, finding a way to rev blow out of this situation. Both these players just trying to play in the skies.
Yeah, now backs up against the wall, trying to push out, utilizing the elbow feint, actually, or elbow break, I should say, to not go for a big whiff.
Oh, doesn't get the cross-up air-to-air that they were looking for right there, and try to catch up with the Demon Flip. But Luigi, the patience and readiness to throw them doesn't stop Phanpy's momentum!
Yeah, that corpse hop was nasty. Tries to go for the meaty once again, but eats a power geyser into a throw. Luigi keeping pace with the round.
Yeah, I really like this from Luigi. They have like no worry about like, oh, I might die on this hit. It's fine. I'm still gonna find the option that leads me to winning the round. Just like that fallback right there, being able to allow them to find that level 2 super conversion to dump damage, but a level 1 coming out from Phanpy on their own to just get out of that situation.
Oh, it just goes for the EX. You can Rev Excel off of that, so another character who can combo off of a command grab. So brutal in this game. Nice air just defend into a full punish.
Yeah. Oh, but does build the meter right at the very end, but we'll be saving it for the next hit potentially if they need to find a quick confirm.
Yep, and Crack Shoot is gonna be able to do it just like that. Luigi taking game number 1. Phanpy Bogard still looking incredibly clean with the Andy here, pretty well practiced. It's just that the problem is you make any mistakes against Terry, he makes you suffer.
Yeah, and that is like, that's his defining character trait. Like, he's going to blow up your health bar at any given opportunity if you allow him to. And I think Phanpy's been doing a very good job at shutting down a lot of what Luigi wants to do, but it's once we get into those scramble situations, Luigi just, like, finds that little edge that they can take and are able to close out these rounds because of it.
Round 1, get ready.
All right, jumping straight into game number 2. I like this. Starting off to just harass with the fireball a little bit more, whittle down that health. Guard cancel into the elbow clean.
And I like that challenge on the shoulder tackles you've been seeing. Like, Phanpy respect them trying to go for the pressure a lot more. So Luigi able to try to revitalize on this. Does eventually get opened up by EX Fireball.
Nice standing D.
Yeah, tried to red blow. Yeah, I was trying to red blow thinking that they were going to just go for like a more grounded option right here. But that super didn't kill just yet. Phanpy does have a chance to live, but unfortunately we won't find it here.
Yeah, really unfortunate. Things are starting to fall apart. You can see how patient Luigi is being on defense as well. Got hit by a few crazy things at the start and decided, all right, I'm just going to block and kind of see what happens. Oh my god, the cross through into the close D once again, but didn't get a big confirm there. Instead gets the flip and no confirm off of that.
Yeah, but once again, another great corpse hop, mixing them up constantly, being able to recognize, hey, that's not safe at all the time, so I will fight a DP, I will fight a crack shoot, and now we turn that aggression up.
Yeah, and now this meaty demon flip mix-up is just not really working anymore, only if you get the cross up there, which is nice. You saw that Luigi was just going for wake up DP, wake up super, but messing up the input there with the teleport was perfect.
Yeah, being able, if you can't recognize that they're looking for those crosscuts, that they're able to try to capitalize on that, you can get a lot of advantage of going for that cross-up option right there. But Luigi, with these fadeaway JDs right here, are doing wonders for them.
Yeah, straight into the hidden gear. And you saw one of Andy's weaknesses there actually kind of coming through is the fact that he is a bit stubby, right? His far A and his far B are not great. And he can only super cancel his far heavy normal. So he does want to get in close, but he doesn't have the tools to do it with things like the elbow there. Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah, you are going to be dead right here. There was some fantastic recognition from Luigi to recognize the cross-up right there. Wasn't enough to kill at the very end because they didn't want to spend that extra rev gauge, but we still find it with a quick jab check as soon as you tried to roll out. That's Luigi.
This guy dropped, and they're just together now. Like, all these years of will they, won't they, and now they're just together.
Yeah. Look, sometimes you need the off-screen character evolution to get things powered up, to get things ready to go. Just like these players are ready to go into this match right here. You got Ferno on the left, Abeyyy on the right, and you're already seeing a very different game than what we saw previously. A lot more patience coming up from both players on the full screen, and immediately as soon as that demon flip was trying to come through, Abeyyy was ready to shut it down right here. Good DP break, though, coming out from Ferno to keep the pressure going. Going to be locking him down to the corner once more, but some JDs from Abeyyy trying to keep him safe.
Into the throw as well. Lots of feints. Immediately into the demon flip command grab. Abeyyy needs to figure out a way in this corner because Ferno is definitely leaning into more of that throw game so far.
I also, one thing I was really liking from Ferno is they were able to pop out some of those feints, but Abeyyy did not let that get to them being like, nah, I just got to let it rip, and was able to find that big burn knuckle into the super conversion.
Yeah, and you see Ferno trying to slow things down now. When you got that life lead, you don't need to take any unnecessary risks, but that was a scary one. Lucky for Ferno, Abeyyy wasn't ready to punish it properly.
Yeah, those Kuhan kicks are very scary if you aren't like breaking them, if you aren't ready for it. Trying to find EX shoulder tackle to connect, but these crack shoots coming out from Abeyyy. Ferno.
Yeah, that was close. Definitely after that far C counter hit, wanted the 2A into the elbow, but just messed up the elbow input. Still ended up getting it and getting the round though.
Yeah, sometimes if it doesn't work out, just do it again, regardless of that situation. But Abeyyy wants to say, like, hey, you want to play that throw game? Fine, I'll do the same thing. Try to utilize those plus frames, but Ferno now challenging out of the corner a little bit more aggressively, getting punished for it.
Oh, there it is. Rev blow just dashed right on out. Oh, no! Tried to go for the demon flip cross up, but didn't actually get to the other side.
Yeah, Abeyyy was actually just walking back right there, so they were able to space themselves right outside of that spacing for the cross-up. Just great stuff for them. Ferno, though, doesn't let that get to them. Is really trying to make big things work. Finds the DP to cancel out the EX burn knuckle.
Yeah, that's an important thing, too, right? You cannot allow Terry players to get away with EX burn knuckle, stealing turns, skipping neutral. But that's a clean jump, and should be no. Didn't go for the EX, so not able to secure the round quite yet.
Yeah, and doing that is now giving Ferno a chance. Goes for the meaty demon flip, trying to cross him up once again. Abeyyy wanted to challenge with the 2A, but it's not going to work out. Are we going to see a big cash out from Ferno right here to try and even it up? No, we'll just mix it up once more. But the up back JC keeps Abeyyy alive.
I think if Abeyyy would have gone for EX Fireball into Super there, or excuse me, Ferno would have gone for EX Fireball into Super, even level 2 would have been able to secure the kill, right? But unfortunately, just accidentally went for EX Demon Flip.
Yeah, it's one of those tight recognitions that you have to be ready for in these scrambles, and especially with the newer character, you might not be ready for exactly how you need to execute on the damage, but we will see that health bar get executed right here with that hidden gear being popped as well to guarantee that SPG gauge is gone for Abeyyy.
I love that one. Just breaks the ground with your skull, but uh-oh, gets caught trying to jump there by the EX Burn Knuckle.
Look, sometimes when you have a broken skull, that brain's not thinking. You just got to keep the aggression going, and that's what Abey's looking to do. They're throwing out all of this big pressure, creating opportunities for Ferno to put themselves in a dangerous situation, but we throw tech out, we reset to that neutral, and now you have another chance.
Oh no, but there's the big whiff. Massive counter hit there from Ferno and able to take game number 1. Yeah, one thing that Andy does have when it comes to his buttons is that 2C. That 2C is absolutely phenomenal and is special cancelable, so that's going to be the main poke you see coming out from a lot of Andy players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially like you saw in that exact situation right there, being able to utilize that 2C to actually go under the standing C of Terry, and it goes under a lot of those standing Cs because not a lot of them are covering that crouching hitbox range. So you're able to just quickly jab under them, utilize it like a how a lot of characters want to utilize their 2As, but you get a much better reward, a much bigger punish off of it.
Ooh, just defend right off the bat, though. Now they're just checking each other with the lights, right? Seeing if anyone is going to press. There's the empty demon flip into the throw. I like it. This time goes for the low, but not meaty enough to actually get the close seat.
Rev standard ender right here, and players just trading these jabs back and forth, trying to make a big opening. So Abeyyy is the one who will eventually find it with that rev blow, and we're going to see the rev blow trades go into Ferno's favor this time.
Yep, and proper routing there. Even though you put yourself in the overheat, was still able to secure the round. Ferno now at set point. Looking a lot cleaner here going into game number 2.
Yeah, I think sort of them understanding that Abeyyy wants to throw out some of those Hail Marys to make those big routes. We've seen them work. We've seen them be very good in Abey's favor, but as Ferno's right with these teleports, able to blow them up accordingly.
Bro, that teleport getting you from behind feels like something out of Mortal Kombat. Counter hit there on that one, too. Just going for constant demon flip pressure. Level 1, is it enough? It is! That's going to be it with a perfect.
Excellent, excellent stuff. Showing, you know, hey, this Andy Bogard character is cooking. We're only a week in, but we've got some sauce. We've got some things that we can show.
On the Hokutomaru. So, Rome has been in a little bit of a character crisis, but he's been jumping around between multiple characters, and he's finally landed on this Kevin, right? He played Kevin a little bit, but then kind of dropped him. But after seeing Choo Choo at CEO, it kind of relit his fire for this character, and he's been full-time on Kevin ever since.
Kevin is a character that he embodies one ideology in my mind. If you're right 100% of the time, you will win. He is a character that you have to be worried about because he lands a one hit. He's going to deal like 60% of your health bar and then put you into an 8-way mix. So you have to be very, very careful and be able to play around them. Now, CudiFlam is not one who is, you know, like unknown to fighting these Kevins, is knowing how to deal with them. And you can already see that trying to utilize some of these rev guards to get out of these situations. But as soon as Rome has this core pressure like this, it's a very, very scary situation.
Oh no, but just one bad hop there. Didn't quite get the hop, got the full jump, I should say. CudiFlam, excuse me, able to jump out of the corner now, putting in that pressure.
Oh, we had the roll and we were trying to just rev blow out of the situation, but Cudi was able to throw him out, and Rome saying, hey, I've got to throw my own. We can make this work. Neutral, though, up close is where Rome wants to be, keeping the pressure going.
Oh, trying to go for the EX command grab, just a little too far away. Shouts to Rome, representing New York. Kevin with the Tims.
Yeah, Kevin with the Tims indeed. Catch him with the backhand overhead as well. And there we go, recognizing that they were looking for that shoulder tackle at so many different opportunities because they want to be able to create that big strike throw situation for them. And just being able to just recognize that with the up back JD.
Already doing a pretty good job, too, just kind of sticking on to Hokutomaru, right? The biggest thing about Hokutomaru is he's so difficult to actually lock down and catch because his mobility is just second to none.
Yeah, but once you catch him, you can definitely get a lot of big reward right here. Some good trades right here, but no big conversions from either players just yet.
No! Okay, you know what? We get a second chance. That's all right. We take those.
That was an American reset right there. We got the big hit because we wanted the extra damage afterwards as we keep this going.
Hit the vape into the super. Not quite enough to get the kill.
Yeah, but we were just baiting out the reversal because we were expecting it. Once again, found the hyper defense, but was not able to punish just yet. So Cudi can now make this big comeback should they need to. Hokutomaru has a lot of damage on the table, but Rome only needs one small touch.
Yeah, that backdash that you saw there's the touch for Rome, able to get game 1. But that backdash you saw after the super was Rome trying to mash the Just Defend, right? Just mashing back as much as possible, ended up missing the punish because of it. Could have got the punish even without the Just Defend, but just didn't work out that way. Still gets game number 1, though, and that's what matters.
Wanted to style on stream a little bit, but unfortunately messed up the execution, but still able to close out that round. And now we'll see if they want to keep it up. Cudi, though, might be potentially thinking about, you know, like swapping characters or even just icing your opponent out. I'm a big fan of icing your opponent out as long as you can between these rounds. Don't let them roll that momentum into the next game.
Yeah, you never need to hit rematch right away. Always good to go back to the lobby if you can. But now we are jumping into the rematch. Let's see, is Rome going to be able to take this 2-0, or does Cudi have his number? I like this color too, this like Mysterio looking color.
I want to say it's supposed to be like a Kamen Rider or like some like Toku character, but I don't know for certain on there. But Cudi knows that they are the hero of this story because they need to make this big comeback against Rome throughout the whole tournament. Set Rome finding a big sweep though, and a good rev guard on the overhead spaces you out, so you get to play your neutral game a little bit more. You can find big hits like that, but no extension.
This time he's going to get the extension, though, on the Wild Punish while coming down with the JB. Into the throw. Almost has Rome out of SPG. Tried to go for that throw. That was a nice check with the 5A, but gets caught anyway.
Yeah, and be able to recognize that you have those big anti-air confirms off the 5A, going for the quick danger jump right there to catch Rome on the overhead as you saw them trying to press out of that situation. They did not want to hold that quarter because it is oh so scary.
Yep, harassing with that 2B. Not a whole lot of 2C that we've seen coming out from Cudi yet. 2C is such a great poke for Hokutomaru, leads to some of his biggest damage as well. There's the neutral jump trying to get the throw out.
Yeah, but it is a tool if your opponent is like, oh, they're just going to be pressing 2C a bunch. I can like space myself and I can try to capitalize on it accordingly. So I think that's where Cudi's really trying to play around and try to utilize a lot more off these feints and off these quick little 5A jabs to catch Rome pressing. Rev Blow not going to work like you want it to anymore after the most recent patch, but we still stay alive.
Yeah, still ain't able to get that punish though, right? Because it's only -5, meaning you need at least a 5-frame normal that can reach that far and is cancelable to get a decent punish against this character. And Cudi now is going to tie things up 1-1.
Yeah, you need to be ready to, like... Yeah, I don't think any character can naturally punish it with their 5-frame normals at that range, so it is still like a very, very good option.
Some can. Hokutomaru can.
Hoku can? Okay, of course.
He can punish with a 2B, and I believe Marco can punish it with a 5B into EX Tatsu or Super.
I didn't think 5B would reach that far for Marco. I'm not going to lie to you, but okay. Yeah.
Round 1.
Yeah, there's a few characters that can do it. Funny that Hokutomaru can, because his 2B is like one of the best in the game.
Oh yeah, the stanky leg reaching basically full screen. Yeah, just like you see right there with that 2B coming out to presses, as it does everything in the kitchen sink that you want in a lot of these situations, but Rome not letting that get to them and finding a couple of these big hits early on, but not enough to really make a big difference in EX teleport. It's going to be a great start for Cudi.
And I like that we're not getting caught with these throw tech attempts, right? Just going for the 5B, really low risk. 5A, I should say. Jumping is going to be anti-air, though.
Yeah, but now we're just resetting back with that neutral. Rome looking for the backhand spacing right here, but Cudi wants to play right outside of it because they know they can find these big confirms just like this once again. Rome this time blocking overhead and now finding their own opportunity to get out. Finds a 2A check, but not enough to close it out. Now Cudi throws them in overheat.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity now for Rome. Just needs to be careful. Farsi connects, but wasn't ready to convert off of it. Oh, the just event in the air and lands with the JC. What a clutch play by Rome himself.
That was so smart right there to be able to utilize that late JC as you were falling down to catch him out, being ready for Cudi's own game plan right there. They threw themselves into overheat, but Cudi not letting it get to them. Uses the super to catch the backdash.
Oh no, tried to go for the just defend guard cancel as well, but got caught by the throw.
Oh, and there's that big 2C that we were talking about just before. A ton of damage can be coming out here as it's one of your best starters, but you didn't build enough super to close it out, so you needed one more 2C to find yourself that perfect and bring us to match point.
Yeah, it's all down to this. Rome got to lock in. Interesting, too, that Rome is actually rocking the SPG on the middle position here instead of on point or on anchor. Makes sense against Hokutomaru, right? If Hokutomaru hits you once, he's probably going to put you into SPG.
It's also like Kevin has to utilize his health bar a little bit to just close the distance to be where he wants to be. So if you're going to utilize that health bar to bring you down that first third, you might as well then be able to start SPG once you can get your own party going. However, Cudi wants that party to be ended real quick right there. Knocks him out of it. Throw whiffs, but no big punish.
Oh, but there we go. EX roll to get to the other side for the cross-up. Time to cash in, Rome, as much as you can. Here comes the boom.
Being able to save that bar for one more touch. Either way, from each player should be enough to close it out. Let's see if Cudi can keep it tight.
Yeah, but spends the full level 2. CudiFlam gonna go up against Rome himself. Well played though, Rome. Honestly, the highlight of that entire set was to just defend in the air with the falling JC. That was sick.
Give us the
it's gonna be Monib.
It's gonna be Monib, but it's Monib and Clon. It's French sounding enough.
Yeah, Monib does sound fancy, doesn't it?
Right. Pinky up
and on the Kain.
Yeah, oh, it's got to be Monib. It's got to be Monib as they get in through immediate EX fireballs right here, just trying to control the speed of the screen space. But Clon staying very, very patient right here, knowing that they have to find the right opportunities to find these big guard cancels just like that to make their own party started here in this matchup.
Oh, they're Canadian? It's Monib, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. There's the heavy DP break. Yeah, one thing you definitely got to be careful with, which we saw earlier on, is when this character Kain is in SPG, has access to the Rev Blow, you can't really throw fireballs at him. He has the best anti-fireball SPG in the entire game.
Yeah, but we were able to find those opportunities to close them, to slowly close them out of it, but they were able to build right back into that SPG and are sitting at a sliver. So Clon needs to find the one touch that they can to put them out of it, then they can make those power geysers work out, and that's the hit they were looking for.
Oh, just tries to go for the run-up throw, hands off. There's the DP, just stealing the turn back. Immediately into the power geyser.
Yeah, if you're gonna have those right reads, you better do the thing that gives you the most damage right here. Clon just holding the pressure once through, able to recognize that, hey, you need to go for a strike throw off that situation. So I'm gonna take my own throw over here. Challenge with the 2A.
Oh, tried to run it, looked like for the close D, was just a little too far away, and looked like the startup of far D got caught by the power wave there.
Oh, Power Geyser, you thought you had that read once again. Unfortunately, you did not. So Monib now able to keep their own pressure going. And there we go. Big DP break. Going to be able to find a good knockdown, but no warp set.
No, but does get the far C twice in a row. Nothing off of it. Just trying to keep Clon locked down in the corner here.
Okay, keep that DP break. Keep this safe right here. Oh, but that's a big hit from Monib.
Straight into the super. Bro, I keep hearing the ding 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 in the background. I'm expecting yo.
Like that's for the other SFP games. That's for the Samurai Showdown bracket. Alright, yeah, get used to that red blow to just close the distance, expecting something like that power wave to come through, but here we go. Clon able to set up their own strike throw pressure a little bit more. No big extension though for Monib. We'll just play that defensive game a little bit more with the fireball.
And now doesn't want to commit to going in. Does get caught though by the close C. And just Crackshoot has been so good for Clon so far in this matchup.
Yeah, it's one of those, you have to find yourself to be at the exact right spacing that you want to be. And unfortunately, Monib has been, in these later sets, been ready to be able to punish them accordingly for it, punishing the Power Geyser reversal attempt right here as well.
Oh, actually just goes for the setup there. I think if you just went for the super, it would have been able to kill. Gotta make sure. Okay.
We'll just go for it. We'll just go for the super there instead. But it is always a little risky, right? Like if you don't know if that super is going to kill, or if you don't know if the spacing will be able to have it connect, it can always be a little risky. But Monib keeping it tight, keeping it calm right here, taking game number one.
Yeah, looking incredibly nice there with the Kain. There were a bit of like, you know, Butterfinger scenarios where we possibly didn't get the conversions that we wanted, weren't able to convert off of some of our big counter hits, and didn't get some setups, but still able to really control the pace of the match, and that's what mattered the most, and also didn't buckle under the pressure of Terry wilding out like every Terry will.
Yes, yeah, and that is a huge factor in this match. Be able to recognize, like, okay, how is Terry going to try to out-wild me out? How is the Wild Wolf going to control this match? And, you know, sometimes you just got to put a leash on him, and that's what Monib was able to figure out how to do.
Now let's figure out if this Wild Wolf can get off the leash here.
Yes. Yeah, let's see if they're unleashed, but right now we're already seeing the early patience, just like we saw in the beginning of the first game. Tried to go for the EX power wave right here to control that mid-screen a little bit more, but Monib was ready for it and able to push them into the corner, able to find another solid hit as soon as they're trying to get out, and here's the third one.
Yeah, setting up double orbs this time. Nice defense though from Clon, trying to push out. Puts yourself into overheat just to find an avenue to escape from the corner, and still just ends up eating a confirm.
Yeah, sometimes that will end up working out into your favor, but unfortunately, if your jump-ins are red like this from Monib, it's going to be a hard time taking a perfect in game number one.
Yeah, really rough start there for Clon. Now down on their last leg.
Through EX Power Geyser, though, is going to trade on that single fireball, right? That's something that we've seen from a lot from Monib as soon as we reset back to the full screen after some of these up-close situations. They just immediately use fireball to close it out, and Clon finally getting that Power Geyser to work, or Power Wave to work, and now able to close the distance a little bit more, trying to open him up once again, but that Rev Gauge is building up.
It's building up on both sides here, too, but Clon needs to be a little bit more careful. Nice, with this confirm here, you are going to put yourself into overheat, but is it going to spend the super meter? Does get caught by the close C, though, on a misplaced corpse hop.
Here we go. Oh, but once again, DP break coming out and doing a lot of big work. The pressure is huge right here.
Oh, Yeah, putting the super on you, trying to go for the guard break. Clon recognizing that and just doing anything to not get guard broken, including throwing away their life tabby. That's gonna be it.
Yeah, I like the decision from Clon at the very end because it was something that we saw a lot early in the set of just like, oh, I'm going to mash Power Geyser to get out of these situations. And it worked at the beginning, but then Monib made those adaptations, and it had been a while. It had been a couple rounds since they had actually brought that out. So it was like, maybe it works. Maybe they're not ready for it, but they were ready for it. They were ready for anything being brought to the table, and that's Monib moving on forward through the winner side. Marco's a character that once you're up close versus Billy can have a little bit of a hard time getting out of those Marco pressure sequences that come through. So being able to use Andy, a character who has a little bit more of the like fundamentals driven game plan, might be that edge that you need to try to deal with that kind of matchup.
You know what else is really just nice? Having a DP so you don't have to worry about the 50-50 all the time.
That is true, and we're going to see some kind of 50-50s coming through as EepyGirl was trying to mix him up, but we instead just knock him out with that red blow, get him out of that SPG, and bring him all the way to the other corner.
Got to find out what's stronger, Shiranui Ninjutsu or Kyokugen Karate.
Does he catch
dash up? Woo! Hyper defense, fortunately putting ourselves into overheat.
Yeah, oh, and catching him out with EX Tatsu as well from the full screen. The double feint, trying to catch you lacking, and it's going to work out for Too Easy.
Nice with the DP, not allowing Too Easy to get away with pressure like that for free. Uh-oh, but you're... No! Let go block at the last second!
Yeah, wasn't ready for it. Was eventually looking for like a just defend and just missed the timing on it. Unfortunately, this now gives EepyGirl a chance, but Too Easy keeps it calm, finds that DP to connect right at the very end, and able to take round number 1.
Get ready.
Zycon coming through with the sub. Welcome back. We appreciate it. Big whip there on the standing D. Doesn't hit crouchers. Far D at least.
Too Easy finally going for overhead off that situation, able to show that, hey, you gotta be ready for this now. I'm not just gonna go for the same low every single time. EepyGirl gets out of it now, has the corner of their own. Andy kick's gonna be locking them down, but no extension.
Oh, and there's that wild punish with the 2C. Should be able to squeeze out a lot of damage, but misses the EX fireball. That is tragic.
Yeah, it was just a little too late on that, unfortunately, giving Too Easy another chance. Great cross-up teleport right there off EX Demon. Flip, catching Too Easy, who's trying to be buffering their own tap right here.
Here's the throw. Gonna get one last opportunity here to go for some pressure. Got the counter hit, but didn't get the link with the 2A. You saw they immediately tried to go for 2A into the kick, right? But the 2A just didn't come out. They pressed it too early, and it can be really tricky, actually, on the EX cross-up to time that next button press.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things that, like, especially with how like new this character is, right? He's only been out for like a week. If you're not super on point and super ready for that exact situation, can always be a little rough. But Too Easy was able to utilize another DP to close it. That's been their big round enders. I feel like as soon as they get into any scramble situation, they're just letting that DP rock because they know it's going to work every single time.
100%. 100%. Now let's see, jumping straight into the next game. That was unfortunate there, so EepyGirl is going back to the old tried and true, the Cheeto Billy.
Yeah. And we'll see if it's flaming hot or if it's just regular today, but right now Too Easy is looking like like they're hungry for a snack as they lock him down to the corner. Good rev guard on the overhead. We get these just defense, we get these hyper defenses to try to keep your own pressure up, but EepyGirl finally finds an opportunity to get out.
Uh-oh, but there it is with the rev blow. Look at that timing. Able to get the meaty 2B into the super. Yeah, you have to rev blow everything here. Or rev block everything, I should say.
Yeah, but Too Easy didn't want to block it in that situation right there at the very end. EepyGirl finding opportunities to keep it up, knowing that they just have to keep this momentum going again and again. If they want to close it out, finds a big cross-up. That's huge.
Yeah, incredibly huge. Surprised we actually didn't go for some kind of EX follow-up there to try and just cash out, but there it is. Too Easy got tired of holding the pressure and just lets the DP rock, securing a round and us sitting at set point.
Yeah, I mean, that, like I said, that DP has been a tool that once they know that they can find an opportunity to make it work, they will be pressing it 100% of the time. But EepyGirl doesn't let what happened in that last round get to them, knowing that they can still make this big comeback. Finds the way to pull him in close, but Too Easy wanted that and try to get some hits.
Here we go, able to secure the knockdown. Stay same side, trying to go for the overhead. Nice hop out there from Too Easy.
We knock him down. Oh, great use of the fireball feint right there to be mixing him up once again. And here we go. Big DP counter hit into the level 2.
And one more mix. Gotta block your life. You're BMs. GG2 easy. Moving on to face SoSickNASHFAN in a top 24 qualifier match. EepyGirl, I think if maybe we went for the Billy in game number 1, we would have had more time to adjust. Hokutomaru for Robert. I hate Hokutomaru, but I dig the color here with the Cronin? The Cronin look?
Yeah. Look, you go from top 1 to top 1. That's all you got to say, right?
Look, Cronin, he's still flipping burgers, you know, at his night shift at McDonald's, so we got to pick up a better character, one with a brighter future.
Yeah, and right now, Robert looks like they're big and bright right now as we saw that big DP bait from the get-go. And we're now getting a big wild punish on that shimmy with the 2C right here. Catching TimeForSleeps trying to get out of this. And now you're into a very, very dangerous situation.
Yeah, just a brutal start on track for a perfect. Not quite going to get it, though, but still. All right, hold on. TimeForSleeps in a really good spot. Has the pressure in the corner. Remember, one thing about Hokutomaru is he does not have a meterless reversal.
No, yeah, and forcing Robert to spend this meter super aggressively in this set to just try to get out and try to close it out can be advantageous for even goes down the line. TimeForSleeps just keeps it tight.
Wow, TimeForSleeps with a incredible comeback. I was expecting Robert to go for wake up super at some point there, but it just never happened.
See, Robert really, from the gameplay I've seen them, they really like to save for that level 2 right there, because they always want to know that they can just get the ground closeouts as they come. Like, you might even be seeing it right here. But TimeForSleeps utilizing that to their own advantage and was able to take that last round, but Robert quickly turns it back with a perfect.
Yeah, this time said not going to make the mistake of not finishing the job, right?
Yeah, yep. You gotta do what you gotta do, but now this is a great situation for Sleeps, right? Having a bunch of meter on deck for the damage of their own, gonna allow Robert, though, to be able to be a little bit more aggressive with that rev blow on defense.
Oh, cross-up is gonna connect there with the JB, very nice, and you're gonna be able to get Robert out of SPGs. This is huge, shutting down that rev blow from Hokutomaru.
Go, goes for the mix-up right here off that left right. But TimeForSleeps now able to control the corner and able to throw Robert into the overheat as well. So no having to worry about EX teleport, but you do have to worry about that DP not connecting.
That was really unfortunate. Just a step away from that DP hitting its mark, but that's okay. TimeForSleeps still in the driver's seat here, has Hokutomaru in overheat, and is about to get the guard break on Robert.
And here we go. Had to go for a little reset afterwards for that guard crush. That's going to be enough for TimeForSleeps to take game number 1.
What did we say? TimeForSleeps, one of the big proponents of Preecha, making this character look incredibly strong.
Yeah, and this is one of those, like, this is a key example of this game being, if you love a character, you can make them work. You don't have to pick those easy top tiers. You can play who you want and you can succeed with them again and again. But we'll see if TimeForSleeps can keep that succession up, or if Robert can make those adaptations and make those right plays that they need. Because we saw it, like that game 2, steamrolled TimeForSleeps with a perfect, but able to make that big comeback at the very end was very, very good.
And Minty coming through with the $15 into the match reel. Thank you, Minty. Say, please come out from the shadows. Maybe after a patch. Maybe after a patch. But also, y'all, show some love to Minty. She's the one putting on the show tonight.
Yeah, the one always putting the magic, making it work here on TampaNeverSleeps to give you this wonderful production, to see some crazy Hokutomaru play as we keep this pressure going right here. Good jump out over there, not wanting to hold that shoulder tackle, because, you know, we can find a DP to keep it a little tight.
Oh, that frame kill with the sweep was really interesting. To time the meaty fireball.
Excellent stuff right there. Oh, but wasn't ready to just keep that raw meaty going. So Robert was able to find a good 5A press out and still has SPG available on deck. So you can make something very scary if you're not careful with that rev blow.
Patience. Oh, does get caught by the 2C. Unfortunate. And there you go. Double rev blow is going to be enough to secure the round here for Robert. You notice that game number 1 was at like a blistering pace, and now we've slowed down a whole lot into game number 2.
Oh, rev blow's blocked, but we don't have that 5-framer to punish at that distance right here. Yeah, and Robert just once again just keeping it very, very patient right here because they recognize that if they went a little too wild with the more standard Hoku game plan, TimeForSleeps is ready for that. So you have to adapt and adjust your game plan a little bit more to find those big shimmies with those 2Cs that worked out for them so well in game 1.
Oh, and just goes immediately into the hidden gear to get a refund there on that rev gauge.
Yeah, just cash out that overheat gives you a lot of tools now, being able to have access to all the scary things that Hoku can do, but TimeForSleeps not afraid just yet.
Ooh. Trying to harass that 2C.
Trying to go cancel the red blow, unfortunately didn't work out, but it will work this time, and as soon as we got out of overheat, we're right back into it.
And there's the throw. Robert able to secure a game now, tying things up 1-1. And is that what it is, chat? Is Preecha color an Uma Musume color?
Oh, I thought it was Beatrix from Grand Blue, I'm not gonna lie to you.
I thought it was like, I don't know what I thought, you know? I was thinking like Chun-Li, but then the hair wasn't black. But I guess it's the Horse Girl anime.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Horse Girls.
Shouts to Jatsu.
Yeah. For the Jatsu corrupting even outside the FGC now.
Honestly though, Uma Musume, cowards, a lot of them. They should have made them. They should have made them centaurs for the real horse fans out there. You know what I'm saying? Just anime girls with horse ears. What are we doing here?
Like same Usume, just like torso up the same, but then instead of like, legs, just like I'm down for that.
Full centaur.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
Let's see. Now we're jumping right back into the match. Robert still slowing things down a lot more, right? Doesn't want to be as fast and loose with the offense. That's where you run into difficulties of TimeForSleeps getting DPs or getting strong counter hits.
Oh, there we go. Able to find that 5A to connect in the corner with that spacing that you want to be able to get the big punish. But not enough just yet to keep it going. Robert keeping it a little dangerous right now. Great use of the Fate for that air stall. Now able to steal their own corner.
Oh, going for a little bit of a shimmy there as well. But TimeForSleeps not going to bite.
Yeah, I think Sleeps is ready. They've recognized that they've gotten blown up by that shimmy a couple times in a row with the 2C. So now recognizing when Robert wants to bring it out and not biting on it should be a huge recipe for success for them. But Robert just will cash out on the damage wherever they can.
Oh, wow, catching the ankles. Hold up. This is almost like a repeat of the very first round that we saw in this set. Unfortunately, their TimeForSleeps burning themselves out.
Yeah, and I think that's the key difference right there, right? Sleeps didn't have to throw themselves out into overheat, so they were able to use those EX moves a lot more liberally through the first round, and unfortunately couldn't make it work this time. So Robert, 60 seconds away from closing it out, but that red blow whiffing allowed a 5A to connect, but no big punish, so we'll have to find the next hit right here.
Oh, both of them trying to go for the throw, but too far away. Jump is going to get caught by the super. Not a ton of damage. Pretty expensive reversal there.
Yeah, but you got to take what you can get sometimes. Get air to air on the counter hit. Now we get the throw once more.
Uh-oh, this is going to be it, actually. Proper routing here. Doesn't even need the super, but is going to spend it anyway. Robert does it, taking it 2-1 against TimeForSleeps and making it into top 24 on the winner's side.
Fantastic stuff from Robert. Excellent stuff, though, coming out for TimeForSleeps right there.
Them through thick and thin, and right now his eyes are set on this Rock, and boy, does he make Rock look really scary.
Every time I see him play, I go, wow, Rock's so cool, I want to play him, and then I realize, damn, I am not as good as Shadow X is.
Shadow X plays like he's playing KOF, which is actually the crazy part. Like, the speed at which he plays, the pace, if you watch how he plays KOF, it's very similar. He also really loves to utilize that command grab as well from Rock.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things like people are like, oh, the command grab's not as good because of X, Y, and Z, but if you're not utilizing all the tools available to you, that's going to set you up for failure. And right now, Delta, though, able to set themselves up for success, being able to bait out that DP, was able to not steal the corner, but Shadow X with that great confirm right there to close out the round.
Round 2. Get ready. Fight.
All right. Just trying to go for the break there. Oh, yep, walk back into a big punish there with the standing D. Oh, the neutral jump, though, to Abeyyy calling out the command grab.
look. You, like I said, you have to utilize all those tools. But if you're ready to deal with what's coming through, it can be very scary. That's why Billy has so much success going forward. But ShadowX just trying to lock him down in the corner once more.
Dash it into nothing. Was expecting the hop again this time. DELTARMENTA just standing fast. Oh, it does get caught though by the close B.
Yeah, and being able to recognize the one button confirm right there, knowing an overheat that we had to cash out with the super, because that's what we needed to close out and take game number 1.
I like this rock color too. This isn't even a custom color. This is just ShadowX picking color number 2 for rock.
Like custom colors, you know, it's great and wonderful, but you're not gonna have time offline at tournaments to make your custom color. You got to have your selection ready from the get-go, and ShadowX is just getting comfortable.
And he's also just a simple man, all right? He's not going to go that extra mile. He just picks what he likes and performs.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Round 1. Get ready. Fight.
You know, this is a top 24 qualifiers match as well, so both these players will be making it through, but they are fighting for that winners and losers side push. Good air there, right? Delta doing a great job right now, just keeping the pressure. Some great JDs were coming out from Shadow, but Delta ready for that DP to be ripped out right there and gonna punish them accordingly.
Oh no, not just going for the super to secure the kill. I think DELTARMENTA probably wants to hold on to the meter here, thinking that they have such a big life lead that they can close it out meterless. Yeah, and there it is. Now they're gonna have that extra super bar going into the next round.
Round 2. Get ready. Fight.
That should be very beneficial because we've seen a lot of situations where they needed that last super bar to kill, weren't able to make it work, and then like not able to find these ways to close out the rounds right here. So Delta though, just trying to make sure that they can close out this one right here with this big overhead confirm.
Super this time? For sure, yep. Get the big ring of fire. Trying to go for some set play there with the safe jump, but ShadowX just waking up with buttons.
Yeah, that's what you need to do, right? Like, you're in a one-touch situation because they still had another bar on deck. They can still make that super work, but we find that up-back jump out of the corner and able to close it out. DELTARMENTA tying it up 1-1.
It didn't even need the extra bar super, but having it as a backup in case you needed that wake-up reversal was such a smart play there from DELTARMENTA. Ended up working out beautifully.
Oh, yeah. Working fantastic as well as for those longer range confirms. Like, say you got thrown into a block stream that throws you into that overheat situation, and then being able to escape out, you still have that like far button confirm into the super with that still on deck. Just an excellent way to keep yourself safe if any of your situations would put you into a dangerous spot. That's what's showing that they're able to make it all the way through to the deep end of this bracket right here and are able to keep it going. Finding the big early hits right here and finding another good connection on ShadowX, but ShadowX does not let that get to them, allows them to reset back out, and now able to start the rock pressure, but Delta presses out!
Yeah, pressing out, recognizing that ShadowX was pushed out from the rev block, so had to dash back on in to keep the pressure going. Nice, immediately with the backdash into the air fireball there from ShadowX. Oh my god, sniped out of the skies.
Yeah, that air rev blow doing a really great job of shutting them down. Great faint pressure right here, just trying to build that rev gauge up over on ShadowX's end. Big super confirm, gonna put you to a one-touch, and we catch him with the universal overhead.
Clean work, clean work. DELTARMENTA now fully in the driver's seat, in control of the way that this match is going, sitting at set point. Also, unlike other Billy players putting SPG in the middle position, normally you see Billy players put it on point, but it's been working out pretty well here for DELTARMENTA.
Yeah, like, it really just, I think, comes down to player preference, but also a little bit of character matchup, right? Like, Rock can close the distance very early on and put you into some scary situations. So having an SPG where it's a little bit more important to make the bigger comebacks has been very useful for Delta throughout this whole set so far.
Here comes the super. Delta now feeling very confident. Just needs to find one more confirm, and that's going to be it. Should be enough here, and it is on the final hit.
Well, it was dangerous. I was a little worried at there was a slight delay on the special cancel. I was like, oh no, is this going to drop work? And there's a lot of people who have started from there and then have now succeeded and are even making like top 8s of majors for other titles. So that's definitely it's a great start to be in.
Hey, don't forget as well, too, don't be afraid to enter TNS brackets. We do run 1, 2, and 0-2 brackets for every single one of our games, so make sure to check it out and hop in and join the action. But here we go. Dylan coming in on the Kain. Hyde back on the Terry.
Yeah, this is the character that they've had probably the most success with and is definitely very reminiscent of their playstyle in other titles. But we'll see if Dylnyan, who can, you know, really lock him down. This is a match I've seen play in tournaments before, and I think traditionally goes in Dylnyan's favor. But anything is possible right here. You actually keep yourself safe, and nice check with the 2A right there on the counter hit.
Oh, just a clean JD to get in as well. The super, absolutely. Power Geyser, still not enough to secure the kill.
Yeah, and you did overheat as well, so this is a little bit of a scary situation if you're not able to close it out just yet. Dylnyan keeping it very tight, has that Dark Angel coming through to knock that guard gauge down again and again.
Oh no, and Hyde just kind of flailing a little bit there, trying to find the last hit. Ends up paying for it, just too high risk.
Get ready. Fight.
Yeah, that is the downside, right? Like, being able to overheat and be like, yeah, I only need one more touch, but you have to find that right touch. And if the Dylnyan is especially someone who can stay calm through any kind of scary situation with their game history. Big counter hit coming out for them as well.
I vibe really hard too with the Goth Kain.
Yep.
I'm about it. Oh, but there's the back throw. Hyde. Whoa! Blowing up the startup of the red blow.
Yeah, I think maybe thought it was mistimed so that they could get a free press out of there, but Hyde was able to get the deepest meaty imaginable and really making it work now. Finds the close-up with that close scene, enough to close out that round.
All right, just has to keep the pressure up now.
Final round. Get ready. Fight. SPT.
There we go. Great running actually from both players, showing like, hey, I'm not gonna, you know, respect. I don't want to play defensive. I want to keep this momentum into my favor as early as possible.
Oh, trying to go for the triple dash in. Nice little challenge there with the 5A as well. You see, catching the back dash.
Oh, big counter hit as well. Just gonna be able to go for the standard knockdown off that record right there. But EX burn knuckle to stay up close. And now both players are overheated. But Hyde's the one who finds the hit. Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Hold up. Both players in overheat. This is where it's going to be real scrambly. There's the throw, and Hyde able to secure game number 1.
I was really worried with that super drop right there at the very end, because I think that was Hyde looking for like a single button confirm into the super and accidentally dropping the extension right there. So that was very scary. That was very, very scary right there. But still able to keep it calm and close it out right at the very end, being able to utilize that life lead to, you know, make it not as dangerous as it may have been.
Yeah, chat's right. The black on Kain's clothes is like that void black. You know what I'm talking about?
It's Vanta black right there.
Yeah, where it just sucks in all light.
Yeah, it's also sucking in Hyde because they want to be up close right here and finding a couple of these big counter hits in those situations right here. Great throw tech out the bubble, just EX burn knuckle to try to make themselves safe, but Hyde quickly going to overheat right from the get-go.
Yeah, just being a little too aggressive. I mean, look at Dylnyan though. Dylnyan's sitting at 90%, so has to be really careful. Can't really go in as hard as they want to with Hyde being an overheat.
Yeah, and even with Hyde and overheat, they are not worried about anything. They know that they can still DP out of those situations. They know that they can press at the right opportunities, but Dylnyan is adding that damage up, but the gauge is ticking down.
Yep, and there finally is. Dylnyan was just waiting to let that rev gauge cool down a little bit so they could get more aggressive and go for the guard break. Hyde, on the other hand, being hyper aggressive too, because they knew they were about to cool down, and if they could push Dylnyan into overheat, that would be so favorable for them.
Yeah, that would be like a huge pendulum swinger right there. Fortunately, it didn't work out for them, and Dylnyan now going to take the momentum and recognize that, hey, you love to DP in this situation. I'm just going to hold back. I'm going to be buffering my charge, and I'm going to be making sure I can quickly close this out.
And there it is, closed out indeed. Dylnyan now trying to tie things up 1-1, or does tie it up 1-1, excuse me. But keeping just the gold too, just the one little pop of gold, so clean.
It's how you gotta stunt on them. You gotta stunt on them a little bit.
Look, black and gold goes hard.
It does go hard. I have to say, at least on that stage, the hair is so black it looks green in the lighting.
It does kinda. My man is fully decked out, 3 layers with gloves on, okay, and like a scarf thing, or what's it called? It's like what Freddy has.
Get ready. Fight.
You know, it's not quite a scarf.
I know what you're talking about. I just don't know the word for it.
Yeah. Out by the Southtown Zoo, mind you. This is Miami. You know how hot it is out there?
Yeah, I mean, even Terry's got the full leather jacket on, the thick cargo pants to be keeping it going. These players are keeping the heat up in this weather right here.
Yes, an ascot. Thank you, Chad. An ascot. We know, chat. I think Southtown sucked.
Get ready. Fight.
I think Southtown sucks. I didn't say that.
Okay, trying to let the bombs explode.
I like these these hops, these jump forwards can hide a little bit more, knowing that Dylnyan has been a little bit more patient with their like fireball presence and their play, so they're able to actually stay up close a little bit more. Expert Knuckle not gonna connect right here, so no extension, but they still ended up a way to stay safe.
Uh-oh, putting yourself in the overheat though. This could be a death sentence for Hyde, but now they're just trying to stay hyper aggressive.
More, yeah, puts them into Dylnyan into overheat as well, and this is very advantageous for Hyde right here with their overheat gauge ticking down, knowing that that guard break might not be something that comes out, but the EX power guys are gonna work. Hyde taking it 2-1.
Get tired of pressing buttons. Get tired of just pressing lights back and forth against your opponent. Just let all your meter get dumped.
Yeah, or you know, we saw some characters, the fan favorites as they're going through, but we're in the deep end of the bracket. We're on that winner side. You're gonna see your regular cast of characters coming through. These Kains, these Hokus, these Billies. And we'll have to see how these players can make it work and how they get their reads on each other right here. SoSickNASHFAN has been someone who I've been very impressed with their Hokutomaru play, right? They are definitely, like, I know them more from, like, some other anime titles and whatnot, and they don't tend to pick these, like, more ninja-style characters, but they really are making it work. But Monib saying, hey, I'm gonna make this damage work, I'm gonna make these combos work, because I find one hit and you're in trouble.
Yeah, normally, at least what I'm familiar with NASHFAN and other games, is that they like to play, like, high damage characters, right?
Exactly. But hey, this game's a little high damage across the board, right? Like, you can make these high damage routes work off of any character, so might just pick the one that gives you the biggest edge that you can think of.
Well, Monib doing a good job just playing the footsies game here at the moment. No real big confirms, but it's just whittled that health down so much with solid fundamentals.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing on this match, right? Like, cause you can't always land these big confirms onto the Hoku. So if you can just play around your game, and if you're willing to, let that clock run down while you have that life lead, you can really make a lot work. But here we go, the 2C counter hit confirm with the super at the very end. Great stuff from Monib.
Yeah, just having that locked and ready to go, absolutely massive. And now just trying to go for that close C. Close C is a pretty good anti-air. Nearly reached up to SoSickNASHFAN, but Hokutomaru just too difficult to anti-air.
Yeah, his tiny presence on screen with Hokutomaru just being a little bit smaller across the board keeps you safe sometimes, just like you can keep yourself safe in this corner by being able to block that. Unfortunately, didn't work out for Monib, and now you have to hold that round going into SoSickNASHFAN's favor.
It's a good answer back there from Nash. You can tell this one is going to be a tight race. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think was expecting Monib to be aggressive in the beginning so they could get the break right there. Unfortunately for them, Monib a bit tight.
Trying to figure out a way to escape from the corner here. Does get the 2B into the 5B. Basically convert that from any distance.
And great use right there using TKEX Shuriken to just control that horizontal spacing above where Kain Fireballs come through. So you're able to outpace them and control a little bit more of that screen space into your favor. But Monib wanting to control the corner of their own. Big JD coming through right here as well. That should be enough to close it out. Monib taking game number 1.
Yeah, even without the counter hit on that JD, definitely would have been enough to get the kill there. Monib off to a good start.
And mind you, these players are playing for this top 8 winner side qualifier match here in this top 24. So you have to be very, very careful because one mistake again and again would cost you that safe spot on the winner side.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot on the line here, and there could be even more. If you all check out that match RINO, !match RINO in the chat, go ahead and drop a direct contribution in. $1, $2. It all goes a long way to supporting these players.
Yeah, if everybody in chat added even just $1 right now, we'd quickly be over a $1,000 prize pool coming through. So please check it out. Donate if you can. Help support these players who put in the work to put on an excellent show for us here.
Oh, and Hariho coming through with $6.83. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it right here. Ooh, great use of the shoulder tackle on the guard cancel right there, knowing that they can't hold the pressure.
Yeah, but there's a round set point now here for Monib, trying to get into that top 8 winner side.
Round 2. Get ready.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what SoSick wants to be doing right here. Right, we've seen them be able to make these rounds. We've even seen them take a perfect over Monib in this set right here. But they really just haven't been able to find the big footing to keep that Hoku pressure like looping again and again over Monib, because they're just willing to play so patient, so defensive, and waiting for SoSick to make a mistake and capitalizing on it.
Oh, no mistake there from SoSickNASHFAN this time, though. Getting that rev blow into the crumple. Massive confirm for 50% of Monib's health bar.
Yeah, and already close to be building up another single meter off this as well. So if they can land one more touch like that, that's all they need to close it out. Phanpy does find the hit, and here we go. 2-button confirm, but it's not enough to kill just yet. But one more touch is all you need.
Yeah, that was going to be the round, right? SoSickNASHFAN was absolutely just going to Rev Excel into Rev Excel to try and find that chip. Either Monib was going to get put into overheat from holding down Rev Block, or they were getting chipped out. There was no escape.
Good tech out as well. Going to be space you out, so you're not getting blown up by the bomb right here. Tried to feint the bait out the anti-air, but couldn't make a punish happen. The rundown from Monib right there, and as soon as we get up close, we're shimmying them. Oh my goodness. That's the hidden gear as well, right at the very end. Should be enough to put him into a one-touch situation. I don't think it's enough to kill just yet.
With the PK Starstorm.
Yeah.
Got to be careful with every movement that you make here as SoSickNASHFAN. Everything's got to be considered. Every move is a risk.
Yeah, but you have to take some of those risks right here, just like that walk back to 2C, knowing that you need to press, and you can't be scared because you have a large life deficit to make up here.
Yeah, if we can get another confirmed, are going to be able to build up another bar of meter here for the super, but just eats a big boot to the face of Monib, riding off the top 8 winner side.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent stuff from Monib. What does Billy do?
I wonder if Close D would work, because Close D is not a terrible anti-air, but we're about to find out right now. It's going to be put to the test, because that is the first layer. How do you handle JC?
Yeah, we will have to see, but right now Delta wants to be able to control the mid-screen a little bit more, because they want to avoid that situation for as much as possible, and finding big knockdowns just like this.
Oh, just going for the dodge attack there on Wake Up. He's going to get tossed, though, into the corner. Ooh, and just a standing B. Look at that light confirm. All of that off of a close B.
Big jump out right there here for Ferno. Going to be able to keep the mix going. Good blocks right here for Ferno, but not enough. More?
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
BDJC cross up, and that's going to be the round.
I mean, that answers the question. What do you do about JC? Maybe it's just get hit, and you just hope that you can guess right the next time.
And look at that. That was all just a knowledge check, right? DELTARMENTA didn't have an answer for the JC. Doesn't have an answer for the reversal super either. Counter.
Yeah, this is the advantage to characters like Sal G's. You know, maybe not the strongest on paper, but if you aren't prepared to deal with them, we'll run over you just like this. Yeah, great run under right there. That's a good recognition of that situation, knowing how they can get out of it, and a great use of using the upper body invuln right there to be able to get a big hit like this.
And that was recognizing that the first hit of the Farsi whiff because DELTARMENTA was crouching, right? So saw the first hit whiff, immediately just went into that dodge attack. Because in a lot of cases, some people will try to press, but your button just doesn't come out fast enough, right? So at least the dodge attack makes your upper body invuln.
Oh, tried to challenge with the 2B of their honor here, but Ferno just keeping the pressure going once again, locking them down and chipping them again and again.
That was so much rev gauge being spent there. Now not going to be able to capitalize too hard off of that, yeah. Would have gone into overheat there if we actually went for any kind of EX or rev excel.
Yeah, so instead, just keeping themselves safe. He is finding the other overhead once again. And now that rev gauge building back up because we need to find an opportunity to open them up.
That's a good answer for JC. Hits on both sides, too, with that super.
Yeah. But having to spend that meter to be able to catch him out there versus saving it later for potential confirm like this could be a little dangerous. Ferno sitting at one tick of health, but one delay from DELTARMENTA right there should give them enough to take the set up 1-0 right now.
I'm going to make a hard call out there. Ferno did not rev block and also got hit raw by the pogo. I'm pretty sure they tried to reversal super through the gap. It just didn't get it.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, sitting on full meter, right? 2 bars a meter. Why not try to go for a reversal super there if you know the pogo is coming? But that's kind of a tight window to actually get it off.
Yeah, I mean, that is the Billy matchup. It's a bunch of tight windows, and are you able to deal with it accordingly? So we'll have to see if they can land it this time, or if Delta can keep the momentum and pressure up once again. Catches them with the overhead this time.
There it is, JC again. Nice neutral jump to avoid the throw, but he is going to get blown up there this time by the anti-air.
Yeah, and now just defending right here, just trying to keep themselves safe where they can, because they know that if they can land that looping pressure once, at least once, they can try to close out these rounds. But Delta not even allowing them to think about getting into that situation.
Round 2. Get ready. Fight. SPT.
Oh yeah, DELTARMENTA now has a good read on everything here that Ferno wants to do. Gonna have to mix things up a little bit more, getting clipped by a lot of these just stray hits too.
Yeah, and Delta doing a really good job of recognizing that they are getting clipped with that, so having the preparedness to just go for these short confirms, because as long as you can get some damage onto the table, it will build up over time and go into your favor.
Well, that's not going to be in your favor. Whipping the reversal super there, and it's a perfect from DELTARMENTA to take it 2-0 over Ferno.
And we'll hopefully be putting in the work to show, hey, this character is scary. Or Hyde going to be coming through and showing that dominance with the Terry Bogard with that Footsies 101.
Yeah, this is a pretty popular matchup that we've been able to see tonight by a bunch of different types of players here, so I definitely like it too. It's a really fun matchup to watch. Terry just trying to get in through Kain zoning for the most part, but Dogor doesn't want to play the zoning here. Just wants to move in, keep the pressure up.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a different kind that we've seen from some of our other players, right? The more aggressive style of play onto it, which is, you know, everyone's like, oh, he like zones, he plays the mid-screen pretty well, but you could also just be up close and personal to your opponent and be in a grand old time.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just the DP break is so incredibly strong, as is that rev blow, nearly able to secure the round through it.
Here we go. Yeah, just recognizes that DP once again. As soon as Hyde creates any kind of gap, they are just pressing it, letting it rip, and it's working out so well for them.
Yeah, you can't just run in like that against a character who has a flash kick. But nice challenge, even better neutral jump to get the shimmy.
Yeah, it was good recognition on Dogor to know, like, oh, hey, they're going to go for the reset. They just want to try to be able to get a throw onto here. But Hyde almost made it fully work, but Dogor ready for that rev blow to connect afterwards as soon as you try to come back in. And we'll just DP through the orb, so we don't have to hold any open.
Oh my god, one hit confirmed into the super. I mean, that super was coming out whether or not it hit or was blocked, right? Obviously, one of the best parts about Kain is being able to keep the pressure going by dropping orb super on you.
Yeah, being able to, like the versatility of having that super, like, oh, did it work? Great, I get an extension. Did it not work? Great, I get a mix-up. And having that versatility, just the availability for a single bar is super, super wonderful. But also Dogor recognizing, oh, hey, I got the hit. Great, I can also get the kill. And we saw them be able to find the routing into the super confirm at the very end to close out that, take game number 1.
So nasty. I mean, it's one of the most oppressive things in the game. We were talking about the zoning on Kain, but you're absolutely correct. This character can go in. Not only is his pressure incredibly strong with the DP, the flash kick breaks into like things like 2A or dash up throw, that whole strike throw mix up, but just also, he's a zoner with set play. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Those characters have never been bad in any kind of game that they're in, so we'll have to see if they can keep the pressure up. But Hyde say, nah, I don't want to deal with it. Let me just DP out of a lot of these sequences. And it'll be interesting to see if Dogor recognizes the willingness that Hyde has to just get out of any kind of OP situation like this, and if they'll change their game plan. But right now, Hyde is making the game plan work with all this damage being added up.
Yeah, and look at that heavy DP break immediately into 2A. It's just so incredibly strong. In a lot of scenarios, you have to rev block the heavy DP break in order to actually force the whip.
Yeah, you'll have to, you know, sometimes force yourselves out of this corner situation at low ledge, because Hyde now having to hold a very, very scary situation. Didn't want to let that DP rip because they knew Dogor was going to be ready for it. You saw him just be patiently down back and be like, what? What are you going to do about it?
And now Dogor saying, what are you going to do about it? I'm sitting here at set point. completely
Yeah, Hyde.
controlling the pace of the matchup so far.
Yeah, and let's that DP rip once again. EX tackle, and we stay ourselves plus, but Hyde ready to press out with a 5A right there.
Oh, and just a step back into the 2C for the wild punish. Absolutely massive. Not going to spend any of the super meter here. Trying to look for a confirm that is going to kill.
They only need one big touch like this. Their meter is building up, and they should quickly be able to get into level 2 if they get off of any hit right here. Hyde throwing up some of these fates, but here we go. Into the level 1 orb. Quick EX tackle right at the very end. El Dogor gonna take it 2-0 over Hyde to move on to top 8. The hype train that I'm on the anti-hype train.
There have been quite a few Andys tonight, actually, which is good. Which is really good. Really good to see.
Round 1.
Yeah, only a week in, and we're seeing, because a lot of people won't pick up a character like within the week to enter these tournaments, you know, unless they're very strong.
Yeah, and Andy definitely showing that, hey, he's got a lot of tools to deal with it, especially, well, dealing with Billy very well. You can see this Fireball game actually challenging a lot of the times where Billy wants to be pressing some of these farther-reaching normals to control the screen space, as well as having this big cross-up teleport just like that to add a huge truckload of damage.
Yeah, staying safe too. That Reblo actually helped out Kula with the push out. Oh, Rogelio really Whoa!
Okay.
That JD hitting, really just hitting the pogo.
It is active 24/7, and being able to catch the pogo like that is a super good tool at those distances. And Kula showing, hey, you're ready for it. Fortunately, wasn't ready from the early aggression from Rogelio coming through.
Kula might have been popping off a little too hard. Just wake up DP.
Yeah. Hey, you got your big hit, fine. Let mine come through. Let's reset the neutral, but Rogelio says, yeah, that's my time to shine. Finding another great confirm here.
I like the green army man Billy going on here.
It is pretty good. I like sometimes those monochrome colors don't look so good, but this one, it's cooking.
Oh, Kula cooking right now. Here we go, straight to the super. Not enough to put out of SPG, so Rev Blow is still a threat. Gotta be careful about that. Okay, there it is. And able to block the super, too. Gonna be able to get the punish with the 2C. Can we get the kill, though, with proper routing? Should be able to.
Yeah, I think they're trying to see if they can save it without the meter, but they do need to spend it at the very end. Kula gonna be taking game number 1.
And Cricey G16 coming through with the raid. Welcome. Y'all are just in time for top 24 on the loser side.
Excellent stuff. And these our players are still fighting. They'll have one more game after this to qualify for this top 8 as well. So this is not the, it's not, okay, we got one more and we're good. You still have to fight through.
That's a good question in chat about the fact that you can't cancel from special moves into supers in this game. I imagine it's because of how strong Rev excel it. Being able to cancel special moves into special move is already strong enough. Adding a super on top of that might just be too much.
Yeah, I think it would make confirms like too consistent across the board.
Oh, close D. Trying to immediately go into the Rev Blow there.
The pogo just trading with the fireball in the mid screen, but here we go. Good recognition off that the Rev Blow hit right there to not try to extend anything. Don't try to anti-item. Try to control the ground spacing where Kula has been dominating so far.
Yeah, it's interesting how Kula has been dominating so well, because we talked earlier about how one of the issues with Andy is he is kind of stubby, right? Outside of like his far C, he's got pretty stubby normals, but you wouldn't tell with the way that Kula is playing.
Yeah, I think Kula is just very comfortable with these extended hurtbox interactions that other characters do tend to have on a lot of the normals. Andy's like very tight on them to kind of his hitbox hurtbox overlaps in a lot of situations. So being able to use that to your advantage and punish people accordingly just like this is huge.
Making the most out of that 2C as well. But here we go. Back throw into the corner. Rogelio now. Able to secure the counter hit. Gonna get a nice pickup on this.
Spend the meter as well. Just get as much damage, even up these life totals. Make sure that there's no chance they can even think about getting back into SPG. And one another big hit is going to be huge for Rogelio.
Yeah, this is huge too, because all this pressure has consistently kept Kula in that 80% rev range. So Kula wasn't able to really do a whole lot to challenge back, right?
Final round.
Yeah, and Andy is very reliant on rev gauge. I think that's his biggest downside besides his stubby normals that we've talked about in the past. Because you have to spend a lot of specials to really make these big extensions connect right here. Rev Blow does end up working out for them.
Yeah, and look at that, already at 70%. Like you said, very hungry when it comes to the rev meter. And I think Rogelio is recognizing that, so just trying to throw out these rev blows, throw out anything to force Kula to block.
Yeah, but Rogelio also be careful. They built themselves up to 95 right there. They are cooling down a little bit, but it might not be enough.
I have to go for a throw. A throw does give you back 10%, but there's a big counter hit. Gonna go to the super too. Still actually scary for... Okay. No punish.
Yeah.
That was an awkward move to punish.
Yeah, the Kuha kicks, like, the super really spaces you out pretty far with blocking it like that. Rogelio maybe not ready for the full confirm. Kula throwing themselves into overheat, though, is pretty scary unless they can find an opportunity to guard break in the next 5%.
Yeah, I don't know how Kula's gonna actually make it in here. You don't have access to the teleport now. Just tries to go for the super. Rogelio got caught pressing or letting go, but it doesn't matter. They still get the touch and tie things up.
And that's the second time we've seen that happen. I think that's just unfamiliarity of yeah, I can block this and then I can punish you right here, but the hits keep coming. It didn't end up mattering in this case, which is advantage for Rogelio, but it's always something that you got to be in mind.
See, now jumping straight into the next one. Remember, this is the loser side of the bracket too. I mean, there is a lot riding on this.
Yeah, this is the last chance for these people in this bracket, being in that loser side. So you are having to fight for your life. And then, once again, even if you win this, you have to fight Ferno. You still have another hard match to get through.
All right. Look at this. Just pole vaulting. Rogelio just trying to catch Kula.
I mean, it's working. Like Andy does have some pretty good mobility available to him. So if you're just trying to catch him out, utilizing that pogo can be very advantageous. And you saw that. You saw Kula thinking that they were going to be aggressive with that pogo or something adjacent once again. But Rogelio staying calm, found a TV punish, found the universal overhead, and found one more frame trap to close out that round.
Yeah, Kula wilding out just a little bit too much there. The DPs have been working out throughout the set, but now I think at this point, Rogelio is ready to just respect the Oki option.
Okay. EP, but we're not going to have to hold any kind of Oki coming out from Kula as we just rip that reversal super.
Oh, backdash there to create a little bit of space. He's probably trying to bait out a reversal DP. Pogo.
Yeah, that is a big thing. If you were able to sit in a like perfect Andy spacing and not give Kula the chance to jump out or play with some of their shorter hurt boxes to punish your extended hurt boxes, it's been a great spot for Rogelio. But Kula can still find an opportunity to get out right here, trying to make something happen. But Rogelio just making these stray hits add up.
Yeah, JC has really been the moneymaker right here. There, though, 2C from Kula. Didn't actually go for any kind of cancel, though, to confirm. That's a massive drop. And just like that, Rogelio going to eliminate Kula from the bracket.
Yeah, that was so close right at the very end. Just an unfortunate. Two of the more underrepresented characters, but characters that are still strong in their own respectives, their own strength, do have some weaknesses here or there. But both these players are also people that have been cooking with them the most, I feel like, across the board. So we'll have to see whose mindset is the one that will lead to victory here.
Oscar the Grouch Preecha goes kind of hard.
That's, I was thinking more monster energy, you know?
Oh, fair. That's probably more apt.
Sometimes you gotta be out. You know, you gotta just keep this pressure up. You gotta use that caffeine to stay wide and awake right here, because Shadow X is just bringing you up with the empty jump low.
I was just thinking Oscar the Grouch because this character's kind of trash, you know what I'm saying? But there we go with the command grab. Not a perfect for Shadow X, but nearly.
Yeah, near, you know, a pseudo perfect right there. Only lost a couple of straight hits here or there. And you already see the patience like immediately change. Like both these players were very aggressive in the early stages of the last round, but I was like, okay, let's calm it down a little bit. Let's see what you want to do, because I want to try to punish you. And Supergrenas doing a great job of punishing right now.
Well, this character's kind of sick. Okay. Into the EX elbow. Just get those plus frames.
You may think she's trash, but she's another man's treasure right here as she's keeping the strike throw game plan going down. And one more throw, but you're still one touch away.
Oh, and there it is. The perfect game. Supergrenas answering back. And I don't think she's trash.
Yeah,
I actually really like Preecha. I think she's like she's just middle of the pack. But I think with one or two buffs, she could be really scary.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's what you can say for a lot of characters in this game. And Shadow X showed that, hey, maybe, you know, maybe we should keep Rock down right here because this character's oh so scary. The full trip card command grab was insane.
Trip guard command grab. Just landing into it. That does not feel good. Shadow X now with a lot of neutral hopping here, trying to get some kind of a whiff punish to Supergrenas, but Grenas not moving in too recklessly.
Yeah, because they know that as soon as they move a little reckless, that's when Shadow's able to keep that like hyper momentum's game plan that they really want to work out to run at its full efficiency. But Supergrenas now just trying to even feint out, being like, "Hey, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna try to go for some Hail Mary? Or try to get in here, huh? What are you gonna do?"
Oh, gonna get a nice EF confirm there as Night Moves comes in with the resub. Welcome back, Night Moves. Thank you.
Yeah, Night Moves using that sub to add bonus damage to Preecha right here, being able to capitalize on the screen pressure a little bit more right here, and a great backdash to stop Shadow X's hop right there. They're gonna be able to fully capitalize it on right here.
Trying to cash out with a super, not gonna be enough though, but now chip damage is a factor.
Yeah, and you can see these JDs already coming from Shadow, not wanting to get chipped out right here, but Supergrenas doing a great job of delaying their staggers enough to take round number 1.
I like it. I also really dig the Mexican flag in the eyes.
I didn't notice that. That's sick. That's sick.
Viva Mexico.
Viva Mexico.
All right, vamos. We got a good match here. Let's see if Shadow X can bring it all the way to a game number 3.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Shadow X is able to make the distance, definitely both from the character perspective and the player perspective. But Supergrenas does a really great job of making these micro adjustments later into these sets. Like, they're almost willing to be like, yeah, I'm okay with losing a round right here. This is nothing but knowledge. I just get to adapt more, and I get to be ready for exactly what you want to be bringing to the table. Yeah,
and once Shadow X gets put into the corner too, he has a really difficult time actually dealing with the pressure from Preecha, I've noticed. Both times that Grenas has been able to get Shadow X into the corner, they've just won the round.
Yeah, and that tends to be what Preecha wants to be doing in a lot of these situations. So let's see if Supergrenas can get to that point, or if Shadow X can, keep them mid-screen or keep the corner pressure of their own. But here we go, EX command grab. This is the start you want.
Yep. Shadow X notices how kind of passive Grenas is being and how defensive they are, so definitely trying to lean into more of that command grab style to open them up. But now he's gonna get sent into the corner here with the bionic arm.
Yeah, resets out, just goes for Rev Guard, expecting that low to be coming through, but nothing happens just yet, and these life totals are pretty even. And now it was a great recognition on the run-up to throw them into the overheat so they can't utilize those EX specials to open you up like they had been.
Yeah, it's exactly why you saw that Grenas was willing to give up the corner there, right? He was trying to avoid going into overheat, but it got sent into it anyway, so let's see how Shadow X is going to capitalize with the heavy DP break.
Yeah, and still, these hits are adding up. You're about with that 50% overheat and 50% guard gauge, but these health bar keeps ticking down even lower.
That was actually a crazy pickup there. Could have been even crazier if they got the heavy DP break into super.
And now Shadow X is overheated right here.
The hyper defense! 5 seconds left! Shadow X just needs to run away! That's what he's gonna do! No! You got I'm trying to press! He tried to press! Why would you try to press?
Oh my goodness!
Should have just gone for a super jump forward, a hyper hop, something.
Yeah, maybe scared of them, just trying to catch out on that, a DP or something jumping out. But Shadow X unfortunately loses that round right at the last second, and you still have to deal with that going into the next one.
Look, this match has slowed down so much. Both of them just trying to find that one light confirm to get a knockdown, and Shadow X finds it this time.
That being the first one to get this party going, using the EX Arapuken to set up the pressure, and a great recognition that they wanted to go for that DP. They did not want to hold this, so we get a big punish right here. JD's once again coming up for Supergrenas and utilizing the far B in a lot of great situations, and a great jump out, knowing that they wanted to open you up with that command grab like they had been doing a couple times in a row. You're not going to get open this time. Bionic arm into the corner.
Grenas in such a strong position here too, has access to 1 bar of super. The jump back JD, throwing out that standing far D as well.
Now you see the patience. Shadow X knowing that, hey, one wrong decision will cost me my tournament run, and unfortunately that happened right at the very end. But Supergrenas putting in the work with that Preecha. Exact spacing that right outside Billy 2B range where he can't really press anything to really punish you, but Kain can play the whole world.
We gotta be careful about that 2C though. Dogor One thing we noticed about Dogor in the top 8 qualifier match was that he was like a stone wall. So difficult to actually open him up, willing to block it out, and so measured with that 2C.
Yeah, and you're already seeing it from the get-go that, like, while that hasn't come up, the, like, full aggression that they need to not allow that kind of defense to have to come out is already from the get-go. DELTARMENTA, though, finally coming through and seeing them finally opportunities to open them up, right? Being able to play outside of these whip punishes, but a big counter hit coming out from Dogor to take round number 1.
Yeah, willing to go into overheat to secure the victory there, and still has a bar of super meter going into the next round.
Oh, yeah, good use of the air fireball right there, knowing that DELTARMENTA wanted to be up in the air, where a lot of times like Pogo might be coming in and trying to track you, and that would cover that as well. Dogor just trying to keep the mix-ups going through. Great jump out, knowing that they love going for that overhead off the double orb set right there.
All right, a little bit of a feint right in your face. Just booting the far C straight to hell. There's the confirm off the explosion as well.
See a super confirm as well, trying to get some of that rev gain to be going down. But you still need to find one more opportunity to open them up, and we've seen bigger comebacks than this happen before. But we'll get clipped out by the fireball right at the very end.
Yeah, unfortunate. The double super there was really, really clean from Dogor, just trying to get the kill by any means possible. And even though he wasn't able to kill, having that corner position, having the ability to chip your opponent out with a zoner nonetheless. Like, Billy has a difficult time against fireball zoners, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's the scariest part about Kain in this matchup, right? Being able to have access not only to the fireball zoning, but you also like have kind of good just normal zoning to contend with some of what Billy wants to bring to the table if he wants to try to use those like anti-fireball pools, and as well as, like I said, up close, being able to still dominate and keep pressure going.
Yeah, and we saw that too, right? Not only the 2C, but the far D just being an incredible button, the big boot.
Yeah. Oh, but there we go. Actually, holding the up back, knowing that, hey, you're too far to make anything big happen, so you want to go for EX tackle in, and then being able to punish them for going for that traditionally safe option is a great adaptation from DELTARMENTA.
DELTARMENTA able to secure the knockdown here with the pogo explosion. Goes for a little bit of that wave dash to try and get in.
Yeah, something that we haven't seen from too many Kains utilizing the full wave dash. But it's definitely something that's in Dogor's playbook, but DELTARMENTA might have stolen that playbook and taken all the notes, because they are looking dominant so far in this game.
If I'm being honest, I don't think Kain needs to wave dash.
No,
he's just
no,
so good even without it.
Once again, it's having extra tools on the deck to make your opponent, like, you know, are you ready for this? Do you know how to deal with exactly what's coming to the table? And DELTARMENTA knows what's coming with the, you know, the Mystic Eyes of Death perception clearly.
Yeah, look at this pressure here in the corner, too. Dogor just can't find the right opportunity to press out. Stuck for blocking, but there you go. Just waits for DELTARMENTA's feet to leave the ground, and then your flash hit comes out immediately.
But yeah, great challenge right there, knowing that how often that they wanted to be going for like 2B stagger to just like make them think that they're going for a strike throw situation, or be able to like try to like steal a turn with an orb set on top of them, and just knowing that, hey, I can rip the super and I'm most likely going to get a huge advantage out of it.
Yeah, rip the super he did indeed. That is a clean game number 1 there for DELTARMENTA. Game number 2, I should say.
Yeah, I say tying it up now. The games are going so quick, you might think it's game 1.
I know, but now I expect it to slow down pretty considerably, right? Again, we've been seeing that pretty consistently, is that players will be super volatile at first and then immediately slow down as the match starts to come closer to an end.
Yeah, and just like you were saying, you're already seeing from these players just willing to back off and throw fireballs, because they know it's like, hey, I gotta stay as safe as possible. But as soon as Dogor smells blood in the water, he wants to take the advantage as much as possible, coming in all the way up close and finding these huge counter hits again and again.
And that is going to be the round there for Dogor, now sitting at set point off of a perfect game. Remember, in top 8, it is still 2 out of 3 until we get to winners finals, losers finals, and grands.
There we go. There, fireball coming through, just trying to stop Delta from gaining any kind of screen space. Oh, another big counter hit once again, but we're not spending the resources this time, knowing that we just had to spend it off the super to try to regain that spacing, and Delta knowing, hey, since as soon as you did that, I get my turn, but once again, counter hits coming out.
Child's play. Big Chucky fan. Catches the backdash there as well.
Yeah, after having blocked so much, being forced to go into overheat and be like, okay, I need to make something happen. I have to try to take these risks to close it out.
The moment that Marco gets 50 meter, he shuts down all fireball zoning in the entire game.
You're going to see Ryuki is willing to just play patient early on because they know they can find situations like this where they just create one small gap and are able to keep the momentum going. And now, are you ready for the Marco 50-50s?
Oh my god, actually doesn't go for anything there. Just walks back for a shimmy, but didn't get the punish. Either way, still gets the connection, and that's going to be the first... Hold up.
Why would you curse them?
That's going to be the first round. Yeah, I'm sorry, there was no comeback there.
I even think Ryuki was like, oh, that didn't kill? Because you saw them stand still for a little bit. A big trades just happening back and forth from both of these players. But Monib getting the first big hit right here.
Okay, just throwing out the super. Yeah, a little bit of desperation there from Ryuki. Throwing away that bar of super was too risky.
Yeah, I think sometimes that's the risk you have to take though, right? Because one bar meter does build pretty quickly, especially with your SPG happening on the first phase. So you might be able to get it back if you can create this big momentum early. Does catch the big overhead as well, and we'll cash that one bar out right here to quickly bring him down to 50%.
Yep, into the rev blow. This is just a picture-perfect round. Using the armor from the rev blow to just completely get around the flash kick was so stupid.
That was great. That was fantastic.
I love
stuff
this
to Oh, Marco's sick. Marco's so cool.
He's the coolest character in the game, honestly. No shade to anyone else's favorite characters, but he's the coolest character in the game.
He's up there. He's up there. He's in contention. I'll give you that.
Round one. Get ready.
Well, we'll have to see if Ryuki can keep their cool right here, if Monib can turn the heat up. And we're already seeing the rev blows come through to get out of that pressure sequence, not wanting to hold any of it because they know that they can open them up with these high-low situations again and again. Good blocks.
Yep, but if you are able to block the overhead, you do get a punish on it, so that's big. It means that Marco is taking a little bit of risk when he does go for the overhead low, but obviously the risk reward is in his favor.
Yeah, lets the DP rip though, because that's a good way to not have to hold any of the Oki. Now Ryuki doing wonders right here, putting themselves one step closer to victory. And you see Monib just staying patient a lot more right now because they were waiting for that big fireball super to come through because they knew they would lose a fireball war if they started with that meter right away.
Ryuki is also just utilizing rev blow, like standing rev blow, way more often than I see other Marcos.
I think it gets through a lot of these like canned sequences that Kains usually like to do that let them get away with a lot of stuff, and you're seeing a lot of reward like come out from it. Oh, some big counter hits are coming out from Monib's end.
Alright, well hold up. That close C into the DP break. One more mix. Has been going for overhead every single time. This time the wake up super comes out there from Monib. Eats a palm to the face of that 2C. Monib staying alive for another round.
Yeah, you saw Ryuki, I think, like buffering DP right there, expecting the jump to come through, and Monib then just reacting accordingly to just catch him out for not holding back anymore. And Monib now just not wanting to hold any of the Oki that's coming up from Ryuki on deck. We'll see if they end up changing their game plan. Yeah, they're ready for that DP to come out, ready to bait it, and this should be enough to close out the round right here.
Ooh, and that's going to be it. Ryuki taking it 2-0 with a dominating Marco Rodriguez performance, moving on to that winner's finals.
Like slow play, trying to whiff punish or utilize the EX teleports to blow each other up, but it's hard to utilize the EX teleport when they can EX teleport in response to your EX teleport.
Yeah, and a lot of just double jumping, air stalling.
And I think we're going to be seeing here's the slower match right here. We're throwing shurikens, we're double jumping, we're feinting. Kuha kicks are coming up, but we're already seeing some early just defense to come through. So it is going to be a long one for this. Make sure you got your popcorn.
All right, able to secure the throw. Already down to 42 seconds, and both of them have not lost SPG yet.
Yeah. This is the information for those you don't know. This is not a real 60 seconds. It is a 99 second that comes through on this clock. You may show 60, but it's real fake time right here. But that was a real hit right there coming out from Robert, trying to even up these life totals of SoSickNASHFAN. Got a couple of big hits early on. We'll catch up that super though.
Oh, speaking of cashing out the super, there's the wake-up super there from SoSickNASHFAN trying to escape from the corner. He's going to get caught on the forward roll.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing this rev gauge get built out right here because they know they want to put them into a single strike throw situation, but a great backdash to get out of the throw. Utilize that 2C as a whiff punish. And that is going to be SoSickNASHFAN taking game number 1. I'm even getting mixed up on these Hokutomarus. They both got blue. It's everything's getting a blur.
Red versus blue. We just gotta look at the scarf.
Yeah, that's true. Look at the scarf. Look at the dreams. Look at the health bar though as this big confirm comes out.
Yep, into the double rev blow for the extra damage, and even more important, that extra meter. It builds up a lot of super meter action.
Yeah, and having that super meter being so important for Hoku, right? Because to get even out of a lot of the Hoku situations, you need that reversal super, like we saw happen in that round 1 right here. And that throw is not going to work out as we do get that second jump to come out, that full arc. That's going to be more damage coming out from SoSickNASHFAN.
Oh, but the super is going to be blocked immediately into a 2C punish, adding insult to injury, just spending the super. Securing game number 1 here for SoSickNASHFAN.
One thing I really like about SoSick's Hokutomaru is they are very like 2C oriented. I feel like it's something that you don't see from a lot of Hokus anymore because people are like, oh, we know what 2C is, we know how to like space around it, we know how to play around it. But SoSick is like, no, 2C is the bread and butter of this character. I'm going to press it a million times and it will lead me to victory.
I mean, it's smart. 2C and 2B are just obscene buttons. So good.
Yes.
Best in class normals for this character. Now we're jumping straight into the next one. Let's see, can SoSickNASHFAN keep up the momentum here against Robert?
Oh, big whiff punish right here, though. Robert's saying, man, that 2C button is pretty good. Let me press it a little bit.
Oh, with the back throw. SoSickNASHFAN trying to take charge of the wheel.
They had an aggressive jump out, but an even more aggressive rev blow that came out from Robert. But SoSickNASHFAN not letting that get to them here.
Oh, and the 2C able to connect.
Yeah, and even if this doesn't kill, throwing them in overheat as Hoku, this is a great situation that you want to be in. They don't have the meter to even reversal out, so they have to start taking some risks. This is huge.
Yeah, into the super. Oh. Yeah, both of them in overheat, and there it is. Just the air-to-air. Robert coming out on top this time.
Yeah, finally getting around on board. See if they can keep that up right now. But you already see SoSick like trying to play a little bit more defensive from the get-go. But Robert being like, huh, this aggression is working. As soon as I'm able to just like force myself into being in the right situation, I can make a lot happen. You'll see it once again. Great cross-up right there. You didn't get brought all the way to the corner.
Oh, right in to the hidden gear. Refunding all of that meter. This is just such a good position now for Robert. I don't know how NASHFAN makes the comeback here.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of right reads, and right now that is not what's happening so far, but a good tech out. That's the start you want. And now an EX teleport counter hit as the anti-air, but Kuha keeps break, not going to connect. You were a little too early on it.
Yeah, but you have to be very cautious of the rev blow. That's right. Now that it's gone, NASHFAN can go as aggressive as possible. Robert has no reversal options anymore.
Yeah,
Except
but
for dashing
sometimes... Yeah, a reversal 2B is sometimes better than a DP right here. That's going to be Robert tying it up.
All right, one apiece. That was easy in a kind of boring way. That's crazy. What a win quote.
His biggest hater is himself, clearly.
So true.
So true, so true. But we're getting into our third and final match between these players, fighting for their tournament life, fighting for that top 8 life. We will have to see who can come out on top.
Round 1. Get ready. Fight. SPG.
Yeah, and now you're seeing like even more patience right here. Just both players walking away from each other right at the round start. And even on the air-to-air, they were both expecting like, oh, you're going to double jump, you're going to feint, you're going to try to do something, and I'm going to just try to punish him for it.
Well, NASHFAN is going to get the first blood here, able to push Robert out of SPG. This is where you can get aggressive. So you notice that the match, they're being aggressive, willing to go really hard in on each other until one of them is either in SPG or has 50 meter, right? That's when you have to actually slow things down because the threat of a reversal is so real.
Yeah, that's what you're seeing right here, right now. Single SPG available on deck, but both players now have 50 meter as well, and this allows SoSick to be the one to go on the aggression, having both those tools available on deck, but has to be very careful, right? You're seeing those rev guards and even SoSick's just only throwing out lights because they don't want to get caught out by the big reversal.
On the elbow. Oh, and the 2C again. Nash just leading on that 2C to very good effect. Now sitting at set point.
Yeah, wasn't able to bring it out in the last game that they had versus Robert a whole lot, but now able to keep it up on deck. Both players have a bunch of meter, so these hits can be very, very scary. But 2C from Robert will be the one to equalize the start of the match.
Straight to a super. Make sure that you lock out that SPG. Ooh, and the rising JD was really interesting.
I think trying to catch him for these like up backs or like potential like teleport right there. Not expecting these like standard meaties, but the patience already for both these players as Robert is now the one sitting in at SPG, but is even willing to be like, yeah, let me play full screen. I'll play lane for 60 seconds.
I mean, when you have the life lead, you don't need to do anything with Hokutomaru. Yeah. That's another reason why he's just such an annoying character to deal with, is because if he gets a nice little life lead, he can just play completely lane, run away. Why not? It's no fault to you, and you have incredible defensive buttons.
Exactly. Oh no, but you didn't finish your combo. That super dropped right here. This is going to be a huge starter for SoSickNASHFAN to try to even it up a little bit to even start their own pressure.
That was actually an insane punish. NASHFAN immediately bringing this back to an absolutely winnable game now. Great throw tech.
Yeah, we had the feint for the air-to-air, but we couldn't get the extension, and a great air throw finally coming out. Sick is quickly evened it up once again. Good JD on here as we're trying to make anything happen with all these special cancels.
Every single little hesitation, every hesitation was fear of reversal super.
Yeah. But while you're afraid of reversal super, every other option in the world will be coming out. And now we are tied up. We are at match point.
All comes down to this. Rev blow is going to be punished there, that 2B.
Just the patience. Yeah, we both have SPG, we both have 50 meter. I don't want to be near you. Yeah, spend the super right here because we'll make sure that we can guarantee the hit, guarantee the damage. And now, SoSick being the one in the lead right here.
Alright.
Good. Yeah, JD's on the teleport right here. And now we're back to patience, right? SoSick being the one with the life lead, with the meter, with the SPG, all the tools in the world, but a great 2B is what they need to get this party started.
Yeah, just trying to harass with that 2B, like you said. Air to air is going to be blocked with the Just Defend. Yeah, NASHFAN not taking any unnecessary risks, but now needs to figure out a way to escape from the corner here.
But there is 15 fake seconds left on the clock now at this point. You can just play it safe. I mean, you could, but now these life totals are too close to allow that to happen. You got to take some risks. You got to take some big challenges and see what you can make happen.
NASHFAN playing so scared of the reversal super and is going to end up falling for it there. You saw earlier just a difference between what they both were looking for, right? Tomorrow, all right? This is the strongest warrior in the universe, Son Gohan.
Yes, this is one of the strongest people that you have to be worried about through this, and you have to be worried about them on the loser side. That's the worst part about it.
This Gohan color goes so crazy.
Yeah, but we'll see if they're feeling like a Super Saiyan right now because they're currently getting opened up by the Salvatore.
Rising JC. JT is also just, or JB is such a, all of this guy's moves are so funny. Yoshi flutter kick.
Good way to open him up low. Be able to get this extension. Spending that rev gauge as well, knowing because they want that hard knockdown to be able to catch him out with the overhead once again. Ferno just going to spend all the resources trying to end it right here, right now.
And the 2A is going to hit its mark. This character's so good at absolutely steamrolling.
Round 2.
Once he gets the knockdown and can start just running that pressure, man, it can get out of control real quick.
It is very scary, and I know RINO has definitely like played this match before and is able to win it. So it'll be interesting to see just are they ready for it tonight, or Ferno can keep it going.
All right, well the reversal super there is going to allow RINO to start finally getting some offense in, but immediately stopped short by that 2A.
Yeah, flutter kick's not going to be able to fully connect right there, and there we go. Catch him out. Don't allow him to go for any kind of feints or double jumps right there. But RINO says, okay, you're gonna control the skies, I'll just control the ground a little more. Add this damage up once again. Go for a great meaty right there.
Oh, and SoSickNASHFAN coming through with the raid. Great stuff tonight, Nash. Keep up the good work. Hope to see you in next week as well.
Good cross up. RINO saying like, hey, you want to mix me up? Fine, I got to bring my own aggression on here. I got to take these big opportunities of my own. Good stagger right there. Ferno wanting to press out, but allowing RINO to regain control, but JC connecting out once again.
There's the teleport. Oh, and the cross up. So ambiguous, but with that, RINO does take game number 1.
Yeah, great stuff from RINO. Really doing a good job of like controlling the pace of the game to go into their favor. Like I feel like Ferno like never really had an opportunity. They had, when they got the early hits, they were able to just loop the pressure like multiple times over. It was great for them. But RINO just did a good job of even like, okay, you hit me, fine. I'm getting out. I'm doing whatever I need to not hold the Sal G pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the main thing. Don't let Sal G just like fraud you up, right? Don't let him get away with constant JCs crossing you up. And I mean, that's again, it all comes back to Hokutomaru being really difficult to lock down and also just having great buttons. A 2B is so good at just checking this character.
Yeah, as well as like being like 2B is very, very good, right? But we even see just like the 5A presses in some of these stagger sequences is like allowing RINO to get away with a lot of stuff, as well as controlling with these kunai, being able to catch out some of the crazier mixes with teleport at the full screen when Ferno's trying to make something big happen right here. There we go. This is the party that Ferno wants.
I love the throw.
Oh, the throw is so good. It's so good. Because it's showing like, hey, this is what you're about to get opened up by. Catches him with the overhead once again, but missed the link on the extensions. With JC gonna connect, but we'll just reversal super out and say, no, no more. I'm good.
Oh, this is some crazy routing. Still not enough to secure the kill, though. We just JC out. JC out immediately into EX. No way you got the hit.
I was not ready for you to get that hit to lead all the way into the super confirm right there, but that's showing why Ferno is sitting here on top with this Sal G.
Back up, creates the space, has the life lead. So no reason to go in.
Just trying to dash in though to like close out the distance to make something happen, but RINO just double jump on a waist, using that hyper mobility, found an opportunity to cross up, but no punish on the whiff shurikens right there.
And RINO is just content to play lame, content to run away, right? Run away, try to clip you with a light 2B, very low risk, but does get clipped this time. That 2B and the 5B actually whiffing.
Yeah, and recognizing that, hey, you want that reversal super to come through because you've not wanted to hold this looping pressure again and again. That's fine, but I'm going to punish you accordingly for it. Does have a hidden gear available on deck as a guarantee to close it out.
It's the line. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need. The only thing Ferno needs more is another round on board to try to move forward as we've tied it up 1-1 in this match.
But why does he look so old? This color? Without the glasses on? And with this hair color?
Is this supposed to be like Yuji Itadori?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's his tracksuit, right?
Or
well, maybe it is.
No, that's the color scheme for his tracksuit, isn't it? Isn't
it is,
like the blue and the red? Yeah.
What the hell?
Yuji Itadori. I didn't notice with the glasses, but as soon as they get knocked off, I'm like, oh, okay.
That's kind of wild, actually. I would have never guessed that.
We got the real, death battle happening right here. We got Gohan versus Yuji Itadori. Who would win? We'll have to see in our final match right here.
It's that hyper-specific shade of, like, dark blue for the uniform.
Yes.
Oh, the empty jump low to B.
Oh, JC hitting the full-on domain expansion happening right here. You're in my world now. Get caught with the low.
Okay, just creating a little bit of space. Oh no, Ferno accidentally putting himself into the corner. This is dangerous.
Yeah, this is like the scary spot to be in. Yeah, utilizing the meter dump as well to put you into a one-touch situation off a hit, but you were expecting throw to come immediately after that, but RINO was one layer ahead. Now sitting themselves match point.
Yeah, the double jump gonna win out, able to blow up that rising JC. Just into the auto combo overhead.
Yeah, just backs away, trying to utilize that great backdash that Hokutomaru has to not have to hold these JCs when they come, when Ferno just wants to hold up forward with it. A good catch on the roll as well. There's a lot of damage adding up, and you have to start taking risks, Ferno.
There's the floor jump in. Oh, able to actually get the hit, but wasn't ready for it off the handstand. Unfortunate there. And then the reversal super gonna get blown up just like Ferno's chances here. RINO takes it 2-1.
Also with how players and how they're feeling that day, this time, this hour, this moment. But on paper, this is the reason why Billy's had so much success, because he's able to deal with Hoku very, very efficiently. We'll see if they can keep that up, or if Robert is able to overcome the quote-unquote negative matchup.
Okay, yep, there's the punish with the 2B.
Yeah, having the full range stanky, like giving him that full conversion, like you were just saying, is a great tool to deal with a lot of these Red Blood stuff, forcing Robert to play a little bit more traditionally, and a good jump out from Delta.
All right, I like the Rev Blow option there, right? I mean, not Rev Blow, excuse me, Rev Block. Putting out the Rev Block just in case the ambiguous cross-up comes up, and then if you block, you get to push them out a little bit more. Rev Block is really underrated against Hokutomaru.
Yeah, you've already seen that, like, Delta is utilizing it very well. They have been utilizing it through a lot of the sets that are available on deck, but yeah, right now, really trying to just make it work. Robert, though, trying to feint him out. Good run under, not get hit by the EX teleport, and one more conversion is all they needed.
Round 2. Get ready. Fight.
And you're already seeing why Billy is actually pretty decent in this matchup. Nice dash under to get the close D.
EX teleport coming out through, not able to keep yourself safe off it just yet, and trying to bait out these feints, trying to bait out these teleports as they're coming through, which Robert has been getting a lot of use out of. But here we go, good just defends on the super. This should be a big punishment. You dropped it at the very end. Oh no, but we'll get the next one.
Straight to the super should be enough to secure the kill. That level 2 absolutely is. DELTARMENTA taking game 1 with a perfect, beautiful stuff.
Yeah, doing a great job of just showing like why this character is so efficient versus Hokutomaru, because you're just able to stay out of the spacings that they would normally want to be trying to like engage closer, right? Like being able to shut off the ability to use the shoulder tackle or kuha kicks in neutral and pressure sequences a lot is huge. So Billy just having all those tools on deck to deal with that, and as soon as they're up close, being able to deal that high damage that you can by spending all that red gauge just makes it much harder for Hokutomaru to fully succeed like he can in other matchups.
Billy 2 also has set play. We've not been seeing it a whole lot, really. Like, I feel like only a few Billies are actually utilizing the set play a lot, but instead of going for the explosion at the end of the combos, you can actually reel your opponent in and then get a safe jump off of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those big things that you'll see more and more, I think, as these metas develop with these two characters in their current state.
All right, pulling in. Oh, actually getting thrown. That was a punish.
Yeah, looking, I think, for like a big reset opportunity right there, and it didn't end up working out. They did find the universal overhead to connect out. Great use of the air fate right there to be able to stop them from fully anti-airing you.
Yeah, right into the super. DELTARMENTA still in SPG, though, so has access to the rev blow here to try and bust out. Never mind, that was a lie.
Let's see the...
Oh, nice! Forward roll into the neutral hop, blowing up the throw attempt there from Robert. DELTARMENTA now sitting at set point.
That's excellent stuff. Delta just having these great reads exactly when they matter. Good justify on the EX teleport as well, making sure they can guarantee that punish afterwards. But Robert finding an opportunity to rev blow now to take their turn back. That'll be quickly added up. Super confirmed to keep the Oki going. We just rev guard out.
Oh, nice little light confirm.
Big 2C right here. This is what Robert needs. You are thrown into overheat, so you have to go for the super confirm at the very end. You can't guarantee the kill. You need to put yourself into one more touch. That touch will be a throw. Robert tying it up, keeping the dream alive.
Get ready. Fight. SPG.
All these just defense. DELTARMENTA sitting on a lot of butter here. Any stray hit could lead to some massive damage. Try to dash forward to get underneath. Actually gets the light pickup. Very nice.
Staggering was expecting some kind of aggression to come through. But instead, we just turned the aggression on our own when we realized it's our time to shine. Knock him out of SPG, and you're holding him down to the corner. This is not where Hokutomaru wants to be.
Oh, and that's the counter hit. This is gonna hurt. Any super? Yep, spending the super because there's still one more available. Has that index for a confirm or reversal.
Yeah, speaking of reversals, Robert does go for the reversal super of their own out of there right now, and Delta knows that they just need to keep it very calm right here, but they can't let Robert get too crazy, and they'll control it very end with that neutral hop JD.
Interesting Hokutomaru, right? He is definitely, more so than others, willing to just lame it out completely.
Yeah, for sure.
Shouts to Icebound, by the way, saying code claimed earlier on with a 25-cent contribution to the match arena.
That shows real community right there.
I just realized, oh, they actually didn't claim a code. They just donated 25 cents directly. So thank you, Icebound.
Here we go. Yeah, great use of the Rebel right there. As we've been seeing RINO be throwing out these shurikens again and again. Oh, the DP, unfortunately, went the wrong direction because of the air feint right there. So RINO just adding this damage up off these stray hits again and again and again.
For here is going to be enough. That's a quick round one there in RINO's favor. Can we get up one game just as fast?
Get ready. Fight.
We'll have to see. This is a big start for Monib.
Nice with the explosion, but doesn't get the close D, unfortunate.
Yeah, RINO tried to get aggressive with the 3-2As right there to be able to try to get out of the ore pressure, but unfortunately, Monib was just very, very calm and could wait for it to explode. Gain a lot of advantage in this corner situation yet again to quickly tie it up for another quick game.
The way that Monib just kind of maneuvers when they have corner pressure is really fascinating to see, right? It's not really just kind of sticking to the opponent. He's going in and out, in and out, in and out, utilizing that fireball to push himself back. Also just making sure that the opponent can't jump out, right? It's not all just pressure. And it kind of gives the opponent a false sense of security, but RINO does not seem to care about that anymore.
Yeah, you're saying a lot about Monib's game plan, but unfortunately they haven't really gotten a chance to play so far, but this is maybe the start they want. EX Fireball not gonna connect, unfortunately, so Orb now has to be set onto here. Good Rev Guards as well to push him out. It does throw you into Overheat, which is a kind of a scary situation when your opponent's only at 1 pixel left.
Oh, there it is. That pixel is gone with a clean JB. RINO able to secure game number 1 with the Sun Gohan.
Excellent stuff, showing that Hokutomaru strength versus that Kain. We'll see if they can keep this going forward. Monib has been, like, I feel like once they're able to get going, they're incredibly strong. But it's getting to that. It's getting that point. It's getting that momentum to be fully swinging into their favor. And as soon as it like ekes out just a little bit, you saw it right there. Like RINO able to find that jump out opportunity, not getting blown up for it, and then just fully capitalizing on it multiple times in a row.
Round 1. Get ready. Fight.
EX Fireball. Poetry Chef coming through with $7.25. Rounding us at $60 in the match. RINO, thank you so much for supporting the players.
The going goes low this time, Monib. Now trying to roll out, but RINO was already spacing themselves pretty well, but Monib finds opportunities to steal the pressure into their own.
Yeah, and see, RINO with such a massive life lead, just playing lame, waiting for an overextension from the opponent who gets frustrated, playing the chase game. It's all cat and mouse. Except the mouse that you're going up against is more like Jerry.
Yeah, this is a real Tom and Jerry moment. We had the hammer set right there with that Rev Blow bringing you all the way down. But the good hyper defense off the 0 frame right there. Just get out of there, but you're still getting opened up. Rev Blow locking down to the corner, but RINO finding another great jump out and being able to utilize that JB as well.
Oh my god, just defend on the full orb. And this just on the air.
RINO's playing with their mind right here, but Monib not letting them get too far. And you see them trying to back away because like, oh, I can play lane, but they don't have the life lead. It is close, but Monib does have just a couple percentage points, and it's going to be adding up right here into the super confirmed to close it out. Monib tying it up and keeping the dream alive.
Yeah, really interesting that Monib wasn't just like, okay, you want to run away? I'll just let the clock run down. Oh my god! Close D right off the bat. They weren't ready for that at all.
No, they were not right there, but they were getting rewarded for it. But RINO doesn't let that.
Monib absolutely just wanted Fardy and just was completely caught off guard. Caught off guard too by Squadgy coming through with $10 into the match. RINO, thank you so much.
RINO getting the big confirm as well, spending all of that to go into Overheat, cashing it with the hidden gear as well. Puts them in, puts Monib into a very scary situation. They have to hold the Hoku pressure. And you see them just backing away, trying to use EX tackle to catch them out. But RINO just playing very, very keep away right now, being like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Pro set up the orbs here, tries to go for the low option, and tries to go for the overhead, but that was a nice poke out there from RINO.
Yeah, EX Fireball connects him out once again, not trying to go for anything fancy with the tackle. And once again, immediately trying to go for universal overhead, but it gets caught out. Super still connects right there as soon as RINO is trying to jump out. Fireball this time gonna hit him out of the air. Is this enough, Monib? Is this enough for you to keep the dream alive? No, we are at 1 pixel either way. That is enough to close it out.
Monib staying alive by the skin of their teeth, taking it all the way to game 5 in this loser's quarters.
My goodness, right there.
That was such a nasty comeback. Wow.
I'm like a loss for words right there. Just RINO had those right reads, being able to find those two-way jabs on the universal overheads, but they couldn't find the last hit to fully close it out. Here we go into our final match between these two players in our losers quarters, trying to fight to make it one step further into that losers semis match.
Trying to ride the momentum here too, feeling pretty aggressive right off the bat.
Oh, the JD not connecting right there. RINO is just spaced slightly above the hitbox of it. Oh, no EX shoulder tackle extension right there, but we'll still keep the corner pressure. Still plus, it's still our turn. But this time RINO staying on the ground.
Yeah, RINO recognizing that the way that Monib likes to play, he likes to play at a space that prevents you from escaping, cutting out those corners for you to jump out of, or those angles. Now you pick up there off the overhead.
Yeah, this time being able to set the orb right there to make him afraid of challenging with the 2A onto the universal overhead. Yeah, you have to just defend all of this, and you got to go for a mix off it, but we'll challenge 2A once again, gain a little bit of help, keep yourselves alive. But RINO trying to do their best Monib impersonation from the last round, making this big comeback.
I don't know if I believe. Okay, just defend in the air, gets the cross up, tries to go for a little bit of a reset there. Oh, I believe RINO! All of that off of just defending the super orb, what looked like was gonna be it. Able to stay calm and bring it back. What are these two on right now?
They are on another world right now as they are playing out of their mind, and RINO is clearly feeling themselves as they have turned the aggression up. But Monib recognizing that now, being like, okay, my game plan will work a little bit. They don't want to adapt to me. They're going back to their standard layers. I'll see if I can make my game plan work. Good feint right there to delay out of the DP break. To give them another shot. Pops out the hidden gear as well with a little bit of SPG left. This is a scary situation for Monib.
This is so close to death. Can Monib bring it back one more time with the comeback? Is sitting on 100-meter here. This is a start with the knockdown. There's no reverse. I was gonna say there's no reversal that RINO could go for, but just immediately goes for the just defend 2A and closes it out.
Because we didn't get any of their earlier matches on stream, but they can show that they can do a lot of work right here. And you're already seeing early fireball coming through, found a big counter hit, and immediately ready for that roll scenario to start the pressure on their own and baiting out the DP as well.
And remember, we talked about it before, once Ryuki gets to 50-meter, that completely locks out any kind of zoning whatsoever, but is just so willing to steal turns with EX Tatsu. What a breakneck round one.
Yeah, it is such a good option to be able to steal turns like that. A lot of people just feel like, oh, I can take my turn, right? Because there's no way they would do that. There's no way they would make that big of a risk, but Ryuki is willing to do so. Another red blow as well, be able to knock him down. Does throw Dogor into SPG range though, but we'll just quickly knock him out of it as well. Popping that hidden gear, get rid of all that heat as it's built up.
Outrunning circle of time. Oosta. Just the red blow. Immediate red blow. Thinking that Dogor was gonna wake up with a DP or something.
Yeah, like wake up DP, wake up like EX tackle or something to try to like, or like just trying to do anything on the wake up. But Dogor stayed calm, but it still ends up working out for Ryuki's favor right here, taking game number 1.
Oh, he is saying a whole paragraph there.
Yes.
That silky hair, bro, hit me in the face.
And as a reminder, we are...
Oh, go ahead.
I would say we're in winners finals. This is 3 out of 5 territory. So Dogor has a little bit of time to figure out, like, okay, how do I deal with Ryuki? How do I deal with exactly what you want to be bringing to the table?
A little bit of time, because the speed at which Ryuki is winning these rounds is not leaving too much space for Dogor to adapt. So this is a good start, jumping over the fireball.
Yeah, we saw them get just a free early hit from the get-go, but once again, these DPs, Ryuki knows, all right, I know when to hit. I know when to make this work, and they always make it hurt afterwards. But a great throw from Dogor to be able to set the fireball on top of them, and now they got to keep their pressure going up a little bit.
Child's play. Clean jump in, that short hop with the JD to get over the 2C, and the super hitting you right before you touch the ground. Ryuki just running away with this right now.
Yeah, Ryuki just always willing to spend every single resource that they can to guarantee these rounds to be closed out, right? You see a lot of people who are like, oh no, I always want to keep the meter on deck because of, you know, whatever reason for a match for a character. But Ryuki is willing to be like, I got a bar? Yeah, let's make sure this kills. I don't want to have to lose a round because of something like that happening. But Dogor showing dominance this round.
Yeah, this is the best Dogor's look so far. But yeah, waking up with the heavy DP break. No fear here at all from Ryuki.
No fear indeed, as they're allowing Dogor to get these bigger presses like this as they find the big confirm right at the very end to quickly tie it up. And Dogor feels like that they know what they need to do to take hold.
Oh, just defend immediately into the EX elbow. But yeah, you can't be throwing out fireballs when Ryuki's sitting on meter. Nice jump back JA to be able to blow up the red blow.
And getting the full extension off of it as well. Good feint as well to catch him. And a good jump over to get out of the DP, but you're dead.
This character builds up so much meter as well. It feels like he's always sitting on at least 50 bar to throw out a super.
Yeah, especially with how Ryuki is so good about just keeping that SPG for as long as possible. It feels like even when they do get hit, they force their opponents to get like weird juggles on them that aren't their traditional routes that they're looking for, and they're not able to deal as much as they normally could to knock them out of SPG.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we get to jump into what could be the last match of the set.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Or if Dogor, you know, could make the deep run back right here. Anything is possible, but Ryuki is the one who gets the early pressure DP break, though, is going to get punished by Dogor.
Bro, just the 5A immediately into EX Tatsu is brutal.
Catches him overhead this time. Okay.
Ryuki very jump happy, actually. I mean, with Marco, you kind of gotta be because his grounded footsies isn't exactly the best, but getting so many of these jump-ins that just lead to massive reward.
Yeah, and also finding all these overheads, getting like 3 to connect back to back in the set. Oh, we dropped the super. That is not what you want to be seeing right here. Tatsu puts you into overheat DP. You think you're going to get out of their match, but no, you are just going to eat all this damage.
And you're going to die. Level 1 PK Starstorm. Dogor finally getting a step forward.
Get ready.
Yeah, this is what they want, but taking that step forward off of Ryuki making a mistake is not like the exact spot that you want to be in. You still need to be like, okay, how do I deal with you? And it looks like controlling the horizontal space is not working out for them so much because Ryuki finds all these great opportunities to use EX Tatsu to get up close, but here we go, using that dodge attack. This is what Dogor wants.
Yeah, trying to pull out every single trick out of the book. Forward, yep. Get the extended pressure there with the explosion. The super catches you trying to jump.
Kain in.
Okay, yeah, not able to just defend all of it. And, okay, Dogor playing like he's mad now. Gets a point on the board. Just no care in the world. Just say, okay, if you're going to be hyper aggressive, I am willing to just do anything. Whether I throw out a super, I will just stop you, force you to respect me.
Yeah, and I think that is a very good thing to deal with Ryuki, right? Like, you see them just being like, yeah, no, I'm just going to Tatsu. Yeah, I'm going to DP. I'm just going to keep the like, they're just doing things that are very, like, what are you going to do about it? Sending out question over question over question. And if Dogor is like, well, if my answer of being defensive isn't working, I'm just going to match your own aggression with my own. And it works. It was working in a lot of those, like, minor trades back and forth in the beginning of the set. But now realizing, oh, hey, this just works at every point that you want to be on screen. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Now just moving forward with it. Oh, wake up 5A. Man, Ryuki really seems to have no fear. He's just willing to press. Thriving in the scramble, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, as a Skullgirls players, that is where you want to be. You are in the scramble so often again and again that being able to take that playstyle and port it over to this game with this character can make you very, very scary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I also think it works incredibly well with Marco, right?
Yeah. But even Dogor recognizing like, hey, you want to be scrambling a lot? Fine, I'm going to keep scrambling over and over again. You saw them trying to roll out of the corner, but Dogor was ready to catch him with that close steam.
Oh, actually going for the stand D feint there to try and get a throw. Dogor was ready for that one. Gets the extension off the explosion, but there it is. Rev blow.
He's out. There we go. Guard cancel off the DT as well.
That was so smart to go for. Sitting at 94% on your rev gauge. Just hit that all the way back down to 0. Ugh.
Yeah, you lost a lot of damage because of the guard cancel scaling, but like getting rid of all that rev gauge is so beneficial for you to try to make a big comeback right here. But Dogor saying like, yeah, you let me live, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's fine. We're not even worried about that.
Dogor with the swiftness, tying it up 2-2. This is the reason why we have these final sets be 3 out of 5.
That's right. If it was 2 out of 3, Dogor would have never had a chance here. It would have just been done. But we're going all the way to Game 5. Who's going to move on to Grand Finals on the winner's side?
You'll have to see. But Ryuki taking some time to breathe. Exactly
Ryuki,
4 seconds.
No, not taking time to breathe. Taking time to post in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Who you thinking of? Ryuki saying Dogor might win. That's crazy.
Bro, this is rigged. He bet channel points on Dogor winning. He's just trying to make the stocks go up.
Trying to tip the scales.
Trying to tip the scales right here. This rev blow is the thing that will tip it into Dogor's advantage right here. But Ryuki willing to challenge with multiple 5As immediately afterwards.
All right. The nice stall there, trying to bait out the reversal from Dogor.
Yeah, and even doing a great job as well as being to just get those quick one-button confirms to close out these rounds, right? We've seen Ryuki take advantage in situations to be like, okay, I'm going to do the thing that's like mathematically correct, but it gives Dogor these chances to make these big comebacks. Instead, you just need to lock him down as quickly as possible and get rid of that health bar.
Uh-oh, speaking of locking down, that roll forward into the 5A, wake up immediately, and blocking the flash kick. Ryuki starting to be a little bit more patient on Oki, and look at how it pays off. That's gonna be it.
Yeah, keeping the patience and doing what you need to do to win.
Slaying these Hokutomaru players as we have gone through this bracket, and is now up against one of the strongest ones here in the form of RINO. Let's see how this is gonna go.
We'll have to see if they can keep the slaying continued, but this is the strongest Hokutomaru in the bracket so far, and anything is possible.
Yep, so far we're starting off slow, just kind of feeling it out with the shuriken, seeing how DELTARMENTA is going to approach, but instead RINO runs in, trying to go for the throw and gets punished for it.
A lot has been the recipe for success for DELTARMENTA right here. But RINO just keeping the aggression going, catching him out with multiple overheads again and again.
Immediately into the tornado, super lots of damage.
Yeah, RINO knowing like is a very similar spot to where Ryushiki was, where you just have to spend the meter to keep the aggression up. You can't let yourself reset back to neutral or give them a chance, because this is where DELTARMENTA wants to be.
Yeah, immediately into the super. I wasn't expecting to spend the super, but they're so close to actually making this a reality. And there it is with the frame trap. Close B into close D. Just like that, DELTARMENTA taking the game.
DELTARMENTA taking the momentum from that comeback right at the very end. Good catch of the teleport right there. Knowing that they can get their own party started. SPG still available for RINO though, and they might be trying to use that to their advantage right here, but they're just instead gonna try to get the meter build, but get blown up by the invincible reversal.
Yep, sniffing out that RINO wants to be hyper aggressive there. And it's good that they went for that reversal, right? I mean, this reversal is so good against Hokutomaru in general because it completely negates the teleport and the stall mix-ups in the air. The left-rights just do not work.
Delta, once again, showing in the playbook exactly what you need to do versus Hokutomaru, taking game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, just picture perfect, right? Shutting down RINO at every single opportunity. That is how you play that matchup. And now it's RINO who's going to have to make the adjustments here. I mean, DELTARMENTA was already in his head from the start. That very first throw attempt from RINO got neutral jump from Deltar.
Yeah, and it's you even saw RINO being like, okay, I got for that first round, they had dominance for the first 75% of it. But then Delta was just like, oh, I understand what kind of Hoku you are at this time, and has been making it work since then. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find that full extension that they were looking for right there, but quickly catching him out with the throw and the pressure, and now Billy is going to be continuing up.
And one thing to consider that's really good in this matchup too is we talk about how difficult it is to actually pin this character down. Billy, off of so many ranges, can force you to block the pogo and then reel you in, right? And that is so good to keep this character grounded. But right now, RINO with the empty jump low.
Yeah, you're seeing Delta, who is wanting to seemingly save this meter coming up for these next rounds, but unfortunately might not get the opportunity to do so. RINO quickly taking a round on board finally.
Get ready. Fight.
Nice double, we need a game. Back throw. Flash forward. This time, instead of going for the close D after the close B, we go for the throw.
But guard cancel shoulder tackle being such a good tool when you're just looking for those early staggers to try to open up with these throws, which has been Delta's recipe for success. Just finding all these opportunities to throw RINO again and again and again.
Again, reeling in. Just keeping RINO locked down. There's the overheat. Definitely worth revving yourself up for.
Not a big counter hit, but it's not ready for the extensions either or times. But one more air-to-air is what Delta needs. And now they are sitting on match point as we are back in our 2 out of 3 in these loser sevens.
Phanpy is going to get blown up there by the dodge attack. RINO going for the full corner carry of the super as well. That's going to put DELTARMENTA into SPG.
Reverse super, though, coming out, showing like, hey, you can't just get away with doing these meaties again and again. You have to be scared as soon as I got 50 meter on deck.
Oh, nice preemptive shuriken into the air, actually catching Deltar. Oh, no. This is actually really dangerous. RINO is 1 confirm away from being eliminated here from the bracket. And that might be it. Is the super enough to get the kill? It is!
Yeah, just enough damage right at the very end. DELTARMENTA being the one to close it out, being the Hokutomaru Slayer. So maybe this momentum's not into their favor. We'll see. They did take a little bit of time to ready up from the get-go, so they might be thinking exactly how they want to deal with Dogor in this case. And Dogor just getting the huge jump in with that JC as well for the big early hit of this game.
Absolutely massive. Already putting DELTARMENTA down to half health, but there it is. Guard cancel into the SPG. Doesn't get the safe jump though, and immediately gets set right back to where they started.
Once again, that JC connecting again and again. Dogor has their level 1 game plan working out super solidly for them.
Jose Carlos para Espinoza coming through with the $1 into the match, RINO. Appreciate you.
Oh, no big flash.
Slowing things down just a little bit here. DELTARMENTA trying to measure an approach. There it is.
It's interesting that Dogor wants to slow it down a little bit because Billy is like very reactive, right? So if you're slowing it down and just waiting for an opportunity to be like, okay, I'm going to constantly be watching for whatever you're doing. Like, that's where DELTARMENTA really wants to be in a lot of these situations. Because you see like this, now being able to get some big punishes, does have to hold this orb as it's coming through. Reversal super doesn't work for them this time. And now they're going to get punished for this.
Oh, might have been able to kill off of that if they had one more EX to Rev Excel into. But it doesn't matter there. Gets the hit into the flash kick. Just like that, Dogor gets game number 1.
Yeah. And you see that as soon as Dogor, like, you saw them play very patient, and that's when DELTARMENTA was able to, like, take control of the match a little bit. I think Dogor realized that, was like, okay, nope, I can't let this happen. I gotta stay close. I gotta keep presenting options to you over and over and over again. instead of allowing you to just be ready for whatever I'm bringing to the table.
Yeah, because when they were slowing it down, they decided to try and go in, right? And DELTARMENTA immediately reacted with the anti-air and did a ton of damage. So you're absolutely correct in the call out that Billy is a very reactive character, reacting to what the opponent's going to do. That's his style of zoning.
Yep. See, Pogo coming through does actually connect onto Dogor. Was not ready to get the blocks on it.
Oh, no.
Big punish to put them in and out of SPG immediately. Good head defense, but couldn't get anything off of it right here.
Right, let's lock down in the corner. The flash kick is going to be able to break us out, but there we go. Jump back into the 2B for the counter hit. DELTARMENTA trying to gain a little bit of ground here.
Yeah, definitely, like, DELTARMENTA has been doing a really good job of showing that they are still active, that they can find situations like this to get these big punishes and capitalize on every hit that does matter. But Dogor, as soon as they are able to stay up close, that is where they're, like, their defense gets a little faulty right here, but it might not matter if you can just be reactively pressing them out of their own offense.
Oh, and actually pressing out of the rev blow as well, blowing up the startup with that close beat.
Once more, good throw.
Uh-oh. You are actually dead. Orb super. Yep, pick it up right into. Oh! Okay.
Okay, it's
I was
fine.
about to say,
It's fine.
That was almost a generational drop.
Yeah, if DELTARMENTA was ready to just get that full confirmed off of that word, I would. Oh my goodness. But it still worked out in Dogor's favor. Everything was okay. But DELTARMENTA is now utilizing the momentum of the drop to get into their head a little bit, force them to use that flash kick to be a little bit greedier, and now going to get another big hit.
Oh, but there we go. Wake up flash kick. Get me out of here. Catching the backdash.
Yeah, being able to utilize the EX tackle. Oh, so well. Orb set as well to cross him up and catch him overhead, and we'll get the combo afterwards. It's a 2-way link. Knock you out of SPG. No, not just yet.
And it's enough. Dogor taking a pretty firm lead here. 2-0. Putting DELTARMENTA in such a difficult position.
This is always the scariest part, because you now have to win essentially 6 rounds in a row. And that's hard. That's hard for anyone to do in any situation, but with how dominant Dogor has been in, anything is possible.
I don't know. DELTARMENTA has been playing out of his mind here, but obviously he was going up. The last 2 times we saw him perform extremely well were against really good matchups for this character, right? Now having to deal with a fireball zoner, someone with a flash kick, so where he can't just constantly keep the pressure on, it's getting a little more difficult.
That's right there. Great dash under right there, expecting that jump in to be coming through from Dogor. DELTARMENTA trying to make things happen, but the dodge ends up working out. In Dogor's favor, now keeping that corner pressure.
Set up the orb here as well. Gonna grab the rev blow. Oh, such a difficult position. DELTARMENTA really not able to actually escape. Okay, or I'm a liar.
Yeah. Well, you just cursed him out, allowed him to escape, allowed him to now be able to sit into this neutral situation. And this is where it gets a little scary. Dogor is walking themselves back into their own corner. So we'll reset out for the mid-screen, utilize Orb Super to keep themselves safe. But we finally find that 2-way challenge, but we don't have the EX to keep it going. You need one more big touch, and that'll do it. Dogor now sitting match point.
Round 2.
All comes down to this now. How is DELTARMENTA going to be able to bring this back? Is sitting on 100 meter here, so has access to a lot of damage and a reversal option. Are you going to cash out a bit? No, not going to cash out. Just tries to go for the corner push. And the flash kick catching on the other side.
Now Reset back after the neutral a little bit. DELTARMENTA recognizing that, hey, off this hit, I will be able to deal a ton of damage. Had to stay right outside of SPG, so we couldn't get that overheat gauge to reset back out. But instead spend it off the second hit. Quick 2-button confirm into the super. And that's DELTARMENTA staying alive, keeping their tournament dream still going here.
Yeah, but the problem here, Tabby, is that they spent all of their super meter now going into this next round against Dogor fully stocked up.
See if they can find these opportunities to build up, or if Dogor can just full control the match. Big counter hit. This is what they want. Add this damage up again and again.
Yeah, you saw the red block there just trying to push out a little bit. Able to get the counter hit with the far C. Oh no, dropping the EX there. Now in overheat, this is a death sentence. They cannot allow Dogor to get started. You see being as aggressive as possible, just trying to close it out, but forced to block. There's the reversal super. DELTARMENTA getting a point on the board.
Keeping everything tight. Once again, going back to that reactive zoning style, knowing that Dogor had to do something to close it out, and just being like, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to capitalize on whatever you do, and coming accordingly with it, staying alive. Will we see them be able to keep that up, or will Dogor be able to close it out?
Ooh, this is such a tough mountain here for DELTARMENTA to climb. But they're showing the tenacity, the strength to do it. Do they have the endurance, though?
Their nice check over there with just a simple 2A. Utilize those orbs to get the extensions wherever you can. And now DELTARMENTA having to hold down back, and I have a big hill to climb in this match.
Wow, a perfect game there for Dogor, once again sitting in that set point position.
And now it is up to DELTARMENTA to once again create an opportunity for them to get these big capitalizations. Unfortunately, missed the extension off the stray hit right there.
Oh, nice dodge attack, blowing up the red blow attempt. Gonna go for the super here. Yes, you have to go for the super there to cool down just a little bit. Getting about 20% back.
Good flash kick. Now the patience, once again, Dogor recognizing that they need to create that opportunity to find that big hit to close it out. But now DELTARMENTA sitting in that SPG range, immediately using that red blow to try to close it out. But this big wild punish should be all they need to once again tie it up.
Sitting in such a good position here for Dogor. Still has 2 bars on deck. But DELTARMENTA slowly but surely clawing their way back up. Nice dash under for the 2B. Gets the full confirm as well.
Oh, and trying to go for their own feints right there, but Dogor recognizing that, now recognizing they can get a big punish, and once again, this big wild punish off that DP break is huge for the momentum of the match.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate now, setting up the bomb. Even Rev walking out isn't going to save you from the explosion there. Just trying to build up some more life here with these Just Defends. Oh yeah, Dogor can just play runaway, and there it is. EX tackle, catching you off guard. And now it's all she wrote. Dogor moves on for the run back in grand finals against Ryuki. Possible, and we're about to find out. Jumping into this grand finals, no delays. Theory fighting is over. It is time for action here at TNS.
Get ready. Fight.
Yeah, we will see that early action come through because Ryuki loves to take the aggression early in these sets, trying to find opportunities to do whatever they can to steal their turn. Dogor did a really good job of knowing that they were looking for EX Tatsu right there, so they were trying to find these opportunities to just walk back, but Ryuki does not let that get to them, able to steal this whole corner and now put them into a dangerous situation.
Dash up with the 2B, tries to go for the throw setup, and now Ryuki just keeping space here. So scary, too, when a Marco's backing off, because you never know if the EX Tatsu is just going to jump scare you. There it is.
Patience just block it. No fireballs are coming through, but we did throw Eldogor into overheat, so they can't be able to get any big rewards off of hits like this. They have to just keep the pressure going, trying to catch him on these roll situations.
Oh, but the 5A, the double 5A there would have been enough, actually, if we got the heavy DP break. Yeah, Ryuki knows not to overextend. Oh, running right into the flash kick. Gets the close D. This is going to be it. Is it in overheat anymore? And Eldogor gets the first round.
My goodness, making that comeback that we have seen happen from other players again and again. Eldogor wanting to win this. And what a great song for our first finals match.
On the burning geese tower.
Yep.
Ooh, overhead dodge attack and a blow up the 2B. Massive confirm here for Eldogor. Might actually. Yep, that's going to be enough to get the kill here with the hidden gear.
Should be Eldogor. Not saying anything till the very end, but yeah, that is enough to close it out. Eldogor taking game number 1.
With a perfect as well, coming out the gate screaming.
But Eldogor is now the one who has this hill to climb, right? You have to win. You don't only have to win this set, you have to win the set afterwards. Ryuki has this time to allow the adaptations to come through and find their opportunities to send those full swings. Because once Ryuki is in there, they have been in there versus Eldogor and not giving them a ton of chances to breathe. So it'll be interesting to see how they want to change these decisions, how they're recognizing, like, hey, Eldogor, I feel like in the sets they were playing in the first set, was a lot more, like, willing to take these bigger risks off these DPs and whatnot. But now they're just waiting for Ryuki to come through and make something to allow them to punish.
Oh, actually rolls into the close C. That's unfortunate there for Ryuki.
Once in the overhead as well. We're jumping with the fireball to be able to just still keep their turn up, but we are resetting out to this full screen, knowing that Ryuki has the life lead and has that 50 meter on deck to start winning any fireball wars that come through. But the EX Tatsu's gonna whiff, and this is what Eldogor has been looking for, knowing how reliant Ryuki it has been on that tool in all of their matches to just whiff punish it and force them to stop using it will give them a ton of control in this mid swing.
Yeah, but this is really unfortunate, putting themselves into overheat now. There's the wake-up super. It's enough to secure the kill.
Yeah, knowing, like, Ryuki does love to go for the overhead off of that knockdown so many times in a row, right? That is, like, their favorite option to be doing. And Eldogor recognizing that and being able to challenge with these reversal supers is such a good read on how Ryuki wants to be playing.
Yeah, but remember, in the first set between these two, Ryuki was going for just constant mix-ups, but then started to respect the wake-up of Eldogor, and that's what ended up paying off, was getting those huge punishes.
I don't know if they've started respecting as much as they has been as we are allowed to get that big 2C to connect out there, and that's Eldogor sitting 2-0 right now.
One game away from a 3-0 reset. That's scary.
That would be crazy. If you're able to actually lock up that 3-0 reset after all of this, being able to use that momentum from the losers bracket to your favor. Is that Rock Howard?
Yo, Rock? Okay, making the switch to Rock Howard, coming to fight his uncle, huh?
You know, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's going to be doing a similar job. Obviously not as, like free to win the zoning war, but Rock does have a lot of good tools, especially with that air fireball to challenge in some good situations. But having access to the command grab, because I feel like that's been the hardest part for Ryuki, to actually open up Eldogor.
Yes, it has been. But I mean, having a hard time opening Eldogor with a character who has the best tools to open somebody in the game, I don't know if switching to Rock is going to help that much.
I don't know, but Ryuki at least feels like it might be the key to success they need right now, but these first 2 rounds seem to be going well for Eldogor.
Poke out. Trying to utilize that air fireball to poke back, but what an anti-air. Eldogor firing on all cylinders right now, Tappy.
Both players trying to catch each other with these overheads, but the red blow ended up working out for Ryuki. Sending him back down to the mid screen, going low this time.
Oh, utilizing the air fireball to actually run behind it. Very smart idea there from Ryuki, but it might not be enough, and it's not going to be enough to stall off this reset.
That is Dogor going 3-0 in the first set of grand finals. Saying, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to deal with this?
Uncle got hands.
Uncle got hands, and he's got monologues after for winning as well.
Wasn't this guy like evil in the first game?
The Kain?
Yeah, and now he's just kind of like, now he's just the cool uncle.
Still evil? I think he's still evil.
No, he's not evil. He's not evil in this game. He's just a dick.
This is like letting Orochimaru back into the Hidden Leaf Village at the end of Naruto. There we go. We see Ryuki really trying to just whip a lot of buttons, expecting Dogor to like be going in for these like shoulder tackles to try to challenge them, but Dogor is just staying very, very patient until they get this good knockdown, until they're able to use the orb to keep their pressure safe and allow it to continue once again. Rev blowing out, but not going to connect right there.
Nice with the block, but gets put into overheat. Unfortunate. And just like that, Dogor is one hit away from securing another round. There it is. And chat, Mr. Big isn't even a bad guy anymore. He's not a bad guy anymore. No one's a bad guy anymore.
No one is evil except for that one character. That's maybe a spoiler. I don't know if people still care about that.
Bro, Geese even got the like misunderstood dad treatment. Uh-oh. Well, here we go.
Yeah. See, yeah, once again.
Yeah, this is getting really rough right now for Ryuki. The fireball game that we were trying to do with the air EX fireball, the run behind in neutral, Dogor just answering back with the rev blow.
Yeah, it works great as soon as they're not an SPG, but Dogor setting themselves up to be at that midpoint SPG, allowing that to not work as well in the neutral game where it is more important, and now find the own fireball super of their own to guarantee the closeout. Dogor taking game number 1 of the reset.
Very nice. So Mr. Big was actually protecting Rock's mom. That's the retcon there. Mr. Big was taking care of Rock's mom, protecting her. Because he's the one who brings her to the tower at the end of the arcade mode.
Oh, all right. We're getting our third character from Ryuki. We're going to Kain mirrors.
That's right, chat. Not even Mr. Big is bad anymore.
Round 1. Get ready. Fight. SPT.
All right, immediately with the flashing, we're going Kain v Kain.
Yeah. We are at Kain mirrors. We are blue versus black. We are real Sonic versus Shadow Hours right now.
Anything you can do, I can do better, huh? That's Ryuki's style right now.
He showed like, hey, this character's pretty good. Maybe I should start playing them, right? Both players trying to 2C off their plus streams, going into Dogor's favor right there. And now getting the own cross of their own, showing, hey, you can pick up the character now, but I am the master here. Taking another round.
I don't know if all these character swaps are really helping out Ryuki here. You're starting back from square one, having to get comfortable in the matchup, right? I would have liked to just see them rock it out with Marco.
Yeah.
Well,
I also would like to see the Marco, but clearly they weren't feeling it in this matchup after getting, 3-0 right there. Okay, Ryuki.
Hold on, things are starting to look up.
Oh, not able to find the kill, but we will find it at the very end with the fireball reset right there. Ryuki getting a round on board.
Get ready. Fight. SPT.
All right, now we got the fireball wars going up. Set up the bomb. Red blow is going to be blocked and punished accordingly there. The 5A into the close D.
Oh, yeah, utilizing your own set play orbs as well to deal with it. Send out the Dark Angel, and now catch him out with the 2A right there as soon as they were blocking through. Not enough to kill just yet.
Oh, the detonation there is actually really interesting too. Trying to catch Ryuki pressing, but there's a nice hop in with the JB. Ryuki putting himself into overheat though. This is so dangerous.
But this is a good start. Oh, unfortunately not getting the extension you want. And Dogor ready to just flash kick out. And now up 2-0.
That is 5-0.
Yeah, it's up 5-0 right now. Are we going to see a rematch? We're going to see a Ryuki character swap?
Tried to rev block and overheat Ryuki? I understand.
Oh.
Muscle memory. So got caught backdashing. That's what ended up happening.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, I think
We'll have to see.
I think we're getting a character swap. Yeah, back to Marco.
Yeah. I like this. I like going back to Marco. The thing is that they were still able to come out on top in winners finals with the Marco just by making some adjustments, right? So just needs to make some adjustments here, and they can definitely come out on top again. I think this is totally doable to make the comeback here.
They clearly just needed the pressure of now being one game away from losing the tournament, right? Because that's how they won their winners final set, is by they were down, it was tied 2-2. It's like, nah, I just got to lock in real quick. So they just have to do that 3 more times in a row.
Yeah, last chance to lock in, though, now for Ryuki on their final life. It all comes down to this.
Okay, catches him with the overhead this time.
Yeah, I guess the 2C as well.
It'll be interesting to see if Dogor is like, are you still just going to be going for overhead again and again? And then we'll see them like being very, very aggressive on their own wake-ups right here. Try to reversal DP. Unfortunately, that's not going to work out for you. And Dogor can quickly even up these life totals.
That was such an expensive reversal, too, just sending your super meter out like that. It's these little things that add up, right? So now not having access to that bar super to get it confirmed or to stop any of the zoning there, Dogor is now sitting at tournament point.
Yeah, Ryuki needs to find the path to success for them right now, and it looks like aggression is what they think will work out for them, as it has worked out in previous times. But the EX Tatsu finally connecting, finally finding the spacing they want to be in.
Yeah, but there's the flash kick. Get off me. Nice jump back with the JD, though. Huge pickup. Oof. Right back down. Into the low.
What you want, spend that meter to guarantee the kill. No, just ended Red Blow to go for once more, but we'll just Red Blow through you again. Ryuki, once again, showing signs of life.
Get ready. Fight.
Dart just jumping back. Sitting on 100 meter here. But good from Dogor, immediately getting Ryuki out of SPG so that Red Blow is no longer a factor. Wait a second. Are you dead?
No, you're not dead. You're not dead.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
But you were at a chip right here. Fireball will come through. This is the start you want. This is the start you need. DP is going to get punished right here. Just single button confirmed with the super. Now trying to go for the mix-up with the cross-up. Once again, EX going to connect, but you're not able to finish it out just yet.
No, missing the standing D. Wanted the close D, but didn't get it. So tragic. That was almost a legendary comeback there from Ryuki, but just one missed time meaty, and Dogor is your champion.